And we are live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And welcome to episode 80 of the DayZ podcast. Marks, lad, how you doing, fellas?
Not too bad at all, not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not bad, lad. What about yourself, mate? You were off last week. We missed you. You were feeling a bit under the weather.
Yeah, I was a bit. I'm a little bit better this week. Enough to actually
You got the Rona?
show off my ugly mug. No, nothing to do with the coof.
The coof?
Just no, nothing like that. I was just generally unwell.
Yep. Good to have you back, though, mate. Good to have you back. And we are joined this week by two guests. One, a last-minute guest, because he put out a bit of a video that we want to talk about a bit later, who we've had on before. Archie, how you doing, buddy?
Doing all right, mate. How are you?
Oh, fucking you and your dodgy Aussie accent, mate. You literally sound like you're out of fucking Crocodile Dundee, mate, when you do that.
Had a lot of practice. I go to the bar and pretend I'm from, Melbourne. And they just fall for it every time.
My thing used to be Scottish. I remember when I was in the army, I went to a function at the battalion was putting on, and this chick come up and just started fucking abusing me. And she goes, "You're not Scottish." And I was like, "What? I have no fucking memory of this night at all. You told me your name was Ronald McDonald." And I just looked at her and I went, "How stupid are you to fall for that? I'm sorry, but no."
Oh my God.
Come on. But my bad thing is when I get too drunk, I forget what accent goes with what country, and I pretend I'm Scottish and I sound Jamaican. Yeah, man. What you doing, man? And yeah, just I feel horrible.
I see that was almost Russian there. That was good.
Yeah.
Hello, Rastaman. Yeah.
And our main guest of the night, the one, the only, Blisterbizkit. How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. How y'all doing?
Not too bad. Let's quickly jump to the bio for you that you put in and read that out. And I've got to put on my professional voice here. Blisterbizkit, Blister or Bizkit, 37, husband and father to two daughters, 19 and 12 years old. I found DayZ like some almost did through YouTube, thanks to Paul and Benfruit. I got DayZ on PlayStation 4 launch. I switched to PC almost 2 years ago, around 5,000 hours or so combined. I joined Twitch years ago, but didn't start streaming till late March 2021. YouTube, I'd done a couple of videos on there through Share Factory on PS4. I recently uploaded a couple of more short vids, and then you've got the links. But I like your hashtag, the DayZ Redneck. Tell me about that, mate. What is the DayZ Redneck? I think there's a couple of people. I think there's a couple of people who might fight you for that title. A mate of mine, Moonshine from West Virginia. He's not allowed to say where he's from because every time he says it, I get fucking West Virginia stuck in my head. But tell us about why you're the DayZ Redneck, mate.
Because I'm all Southern. I mean, I am a redneck. I live that life. Got the big truck. Work hard with my hands.
I followed the Loyal Patriot on Twitter. He's just an amazing fella, and I look at the life he lives, and I'm so fucking jealous, man. So fucking jealous. It just looks, it's guns, God, and country. I'm sorry, I know there's a lot of Americans who think that's fucking terrible, but I look at it and I go, it's a pretty cool existence, man. He lives in a big fucking property. What about yourself?
Man, that's what it's about. God, guns, family.
Yep.
I don't have a whole ton of stuff, but man, I got a house, truck,
Yep. Nice. And two daughters, mate, 19 and 12. How's that working out for you?
Well, one is already moved out of the house.
Yep.
That was kind of scary. The young, being 17 when she was born, 18 when she was born.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, the youngest one, she owns the world. If you know what I mean.
Yes.
If she wants something, she gets it. That's just how that is.
Yep. 12 going on 22, eh?
Right.
Yep. So tell us about you and DayZ, mate. You found it through Paul and Benfruit, two very, very different streamers.
Yep. I was scrolling through YouTube, and I seen Paul's video. I think it was called The Show Brothers. something of like I think that was the title of it. And I figured I'd watch it. And then the next video that popped up was just I guess a montage from Ben Fruit.
Yep.
And been about it ever since.
It's one of those games that I think there's a lot of people who can remember a video they watched and it was just like, holy fuck, what is this game? Was it that sort of moment for you, mate?
Definitely. I was just like, it's survival. Kind of like do what you want, but, react to the environment around you and, kind of fit my style.
And what is your style? How do you generally play the game?
Usually I'm PvP and a little bit of RP. I did play on DayZ Underground for a while, so you had to RP a little bit, but I was mostly just out to kill somebody.
Naturally, yeah.
And how's YouTube working out for you?
Well, I'm small time, but every little bit counts. I'm uploading a new video tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Ooh. What's it about?
It's just an encounter. Me and a guy named Autistics Live. I don't know if y'all seen him, if y'all know him, but we ran together, and it's just an encounter from that day we was running together.
I think we were in the same special ed class in middle school.
Fuck's sake.
So what is a topic that you want to talk about, Blisterbizkit? When we get our guests on, we usually always ask them to have something that they want to talk about. What's something that's been bugging you or something that you're happy with or anything like that, mate?
All right, man, recently, well, I'd say in the last month or so, I've seen a lot of negativity like between people on Twitter, just in the DayZ community.
Oh.
And I'm not going to name drop, but a certain streamer called out another streamer for cheating or something like that. And I was just, I didn't want to see that. So I just figured, from then on, shout out people on my Twitter, just push positivity as much as I can.
I can respect that. But at the same time, it's such a quandary where, because there's clearly people out there who are cheating. There's clearly people out there who are using view bots and things like that. That's something I've been becoming aware of lately. But it's kind of hard. What do? I haven't named anyone because, unless you actually catch them buying fucking the cheats or the, they make a mistake and the cheats pop up and stuff like that, you just can't prove it. There's too many variables these days.
Right.
And then there's the, when you come to the viewbot side of things, there's the chance that someone could be doing it maliciously and buying it for that channel to make them look bad. I think you said that to me on Twitter there, lad.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I've been following the situation recently because obviously it's, with what's happened to Twitch and everything like that, especially this week, it's been a bit... hoo-ha. So I've been trying to follow it as best as I can. I saw the latest video from Devin Nash talking about it. And but it's very difficult to actually catch somebody doing that kind of activity. And even when it's found out that, it's like, they are doing it legally, which is, fair enough, legally in terms of the TOS of Twitch and whatever, that's fine. But morally, that's another thing entirely.
Yeah.
And I haven't been looking into anybody in the DayZ community doing it specifically because, quite frankly, I'd rather use that time to do something better like I did yesterday. But at the same time, how would I explain it? When I see stuff on Twitter about people arguing about viewbotting, and then immediately people get instantly defensive, and it's like... No one's accusing you, mate. Chill your biscuits. It is what it is. But that the whole topic.
That's kind of the way I see that. Is it's a little bit like fishing, isn't it? Throw the hook out there and see who nibbles. Yeah, but it would be nice if the community came together as a whole
and I know it's not going to happen, it came together as a whole, be like, when it comes to the legal viewbotting, just don't fucking do it. Like, there's just no point at the end of the day. You're cheating the system, you're using a known exploit, the way I see it, and at the end of the day, we're all trying to create content, we're all trying to have a good time, we're all interested in the same hobby. Don't be a dick, but you are
right about the negativity on Twitter in particular. But I just watched Dave Chappelle's comedy special, and fuck me, I was laughing my ass off. Sorry if that offends anyone, but he's a funny fucking man. And I liked what he said towards the end of the show, where he goes, people trying to cancel me on Twitter, I don't give a shit. Twitter's not a real place, and that's what you need to remember. Twitter's full of a lot of keyboard warriors who will say things that they wouldn't say to your face. I think I shared a GIF the other day of, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the internet, and it was two dogs going absolutely at it through a fence, and the person pulled the fence aside so the two dogs could see each other, and they both calmed down and they were behaving, and then they closed the gate again, and the dogs start going off at each other again, and what you'll do over a keyboard, not many people are prepared to do face-to-face, but...
it's usually the case.
We've talked about this, Archie, on the podcast quite a bit, mate, about the amount of negativity in the DayZ community, at least the English-speaking DayZ community as a whole.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's why I left, man. It's not toxic. It's fucking corrosive, and it's not at all what you would expect for people who like to be sanctimonious and grandstand and pretend that they help the up-and-coming guys when all the while they're cheating them, And it's blatantly obvious for anybody with critical thinking skills what's going on. I mean, I've talked to you about it before. I'll talk to anybody that'll listen about it. And just like Lad said, when you don't even insinuate that someone is cheating, and then they just go into fifth gear defending themselves and everybody else around them, it's a little sus, So, and I didn't think anything about it. Like, I was just like, whatever. And then my entire Discord was just like, was telling me about when I had a little spat on Twitter, which I just got a new account. My IP just got unbanned, which surprised me because I always get banned for stupid shit. And I don't even post anything on there, So, but yeah, everybody was just saying, wow, the way that person defended themselves so vigorously is just like almost telling, You have to excuse me. I've been walking around in the sun all day and I'm a little scatterbrained, but yeah.
Fine, mate, you're fine. But yeah, it's at the end of the day, like there has been a lot of negativity, and it is sad to see. Like, we're all of the game, we're all passionate about the game one way or the other.
Yeah.
And when there's a lot of negativity going on, it doesn't just affect like people like us, it affects like the wider scope of the community. And when they see that, and they see especially the bigger names and they're all quarreling and bitching back and forth, it sets a very negative precedent. And it's very sad to see. It's very sad to see, and I hope that the shit with drama does cool down, and I hope it eventually goes away and people start not being negative. But I mean, I cannot fucking say that because an hour ago I went on a massive rant on stream. So.
Well, it's the same people every time. It's been the same way for 3-4 years. It's always the same handful of names. And, just drama frogs and drama dealers. And a lot of people have just stopped messing with them altogether, stop consuming their content, But that's not going to stop them because you can't stop people who are cheating unless you get rid of the cheat codes. So
it's not even when people are cheating. It's even when an update drops for the game and everybody's hyped about it. There's always that handful of creators out there that always find something to complain about the game. I'm not going to mention names again, but there is a handful of players out there, or creators like ourselves, who just every time there's an update, it's just negativity. And I've been using
the play the game, Marks.
Yeah, I don't know why they do it, but it's constant bashing and just negativity of the game, and it's great that Twitter has a mute feature.
Yeah,
get rid of them.
But let's not constantly talk about negative stuff. Let's actually bring some positivity and
that's what I like that you're doing that, Blister. It's what we've tried to do here on the podcast. Is sure you've got to still address the negative aspects of the game and so on. but you can do it in a way that's not just shit talking it and stuff like that. I get the feeling that there's some people who feed off of that sort of stuff, but there's so much more. There's so many more things that are positive about the DayZ community as a whole, isn't there, Blister?
Exactly. That's why I've tried to push, just supporting other people instead of trying to bring somebody down. Man, try to push somebody up.
Yep. The older you get, the more you realise how important that is in life. I'm finding, and why we try to get it as many smaller creators on as possible. I know big names draw in lots more viewers, but yeah.
Remember that's it. At the end of the day, we have our big creators, and that's really good. In a long-standing people in the community who've been here for years since the start. It really, really, really is nice. But at the same time, up and coming creators, like people like Marks, for example, just because there. But I remember when the Deagle came out, and I posted pictures about it, and you asking can I use these pictures for your video? And I was like, yeah, go for it. And it was cool. At the time it's somebody's making a video about it, I'll help them out. And now look where you are. And it's shit like that is really fantastic. People coming together to make content to help other people out.
Yeah.
And not a lot of that positivity goes around that much. And it is a shame. So it is really nice to see people who are trying to just be positive. They are being themselves, but they're being themselves in a really positive manner, which again, it is really, really nice to see.
And you don't need to be sickeningly positive. What were you going to say, Mark?
I just quickly mentioned as well, just in case anyone gets the wrong thing. I always ask for permission to use a picture, and I always credit people as well when I use their pictures, just so I'm not stealing pictures. And if somebody doesn't want me using the picture, I won't use it.
Yeah.
You just stole my ideas for the Tripwire video, mate. I'm the one who found out about crawling through it. Didn't credit me though, did you motherfucker?
No, because I was watching at the time. If I had used the clip, then I would have credited you, but I didn't use the clip, so no credit. And it was the Discord that found out about using pliers as well, so I should have credited the Discord as well.
Lad like that one, man.
Ike's kind of fascinated with this drink bottle you've got there, lad. Are you compensating for something?
Right, looks like a fucking bottle of Fabuloso detergent. I was like, what the fuck is he drinking, man? I don't know if you guys got that over there, but holy shit.
I don't think so. Iron Brew, good Scottish drink. I've been drinking it quite a bit lately. It's not fucking good for you, but quite frankly,
what is it?
Stopped caring.
Is it like an energy drink or something?
I wouldn't say it's an energy drink, but let's just put it this way. It's a good hangover cure.
Okay. Okay.
It's a very good hangover cure. Like I said, it's a Scottish drink. With the recent sugar tax, they had to... to each their own. But it's nice. It's nearly... I should have bought some more today.
Well, why does it make me think of Fizzy Bubbler from fucking Don't Mess with the Zohan?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Fuck knows. I haven't seen that, actually.
Oh my...
What?
How have you not seen... That is one of Adam Sandler's best movies. As far as I'm concerned, he hasn't done a single stinker. I know it's popular to fucking hate on the guy, but I love all of fucking Adam Sandler's movies. Pixels, people trashed it. Fucking Pixels was a walk down memory lane for me. Fucking amazing movie. Fucking amazing.
There's a lot of films. Like, you could say any film, and I probably haven't seen it. I'm just not a film person at all.
Yeah, same here.
It's like Lion King. Never seen that. Bambi. Never seen that. Shit like that. So.
Wow. I'm kind of shocked.
I've seen the main good ones. The what? Sorry.
You ever seen any Mia Khalifa movies? She's a great actress.
Obviously, she's my favorite actress.
Okay, good. So you do.
She was in that
films then.
She was in that Holy movie, right? If I remember.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, something right? That's what I'm picturing from.
It's actually Aladdin.
Blister, what sort of community have you got, mate?
What's that?
What sort of community have you got around you?
Man, just a bunch of good people, man. I don't like to carry negative people around me. I don't like carrying people that are bullies towards other people. It's not my style, and I don't care for that. My community is pretty small, and that's all right with me.
No, I love that, mate.
Yeah, exactly. It's really, really nice, especially when, you know, how would I say? Because even when you've got a small community, you feel like, at least for me, it's like a bunch of friends. Like, it's just a bunch of friends interested in the same thing, and at the same time, they're there to support you. And it's just really fucking cool. I really like that.
Exactly. That's exactly why keep it kind of small.
It's what I love about the. Oh yeah, what state?
I am from Tennessee.
Hey.
Me too, brother. Born and raised in Nashville, baby. I knew I heard it when you said nice instead of nice. I knew it.
That's right.
We can't Tennessee.
I'm in West Tennessee, my man. Nope,
Tennessee,
not at all.
Yeah. That's some nice ice. Got any rice? Anyway, sorry, Boydie. That has nothing.
No.
I met another cousin. You know.
Oh yeah, we're going to go grab a beer and hang out.
Go shoot some guns.
Go shoot some who?
Absolutely.
Oh, guns. Okay, yeah, I'm down.
Fuck's sake.
But no, having that positive community is one of the things I'm loving about the podcast Discord lately. It's been great. Yeah, we had that awesome session the week before last, I think, lad, where there was a whole bunch of us just sitting in Discord and just chatting about anything and everything, and disagreeing on stuff, but doing it in a good fashion, in a mature fashion. Oh, here we go. I mean, everyone's popping up in chat. Love the Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge area of Tennessee, from North Carolina, your neighbor. Yeah.
Hell yeah. If I may, the funniest thing about that area is when the people from up north and out west go to Gatlinburg and they run from the black bears because they don't know that they're just big dogs. Anyway.
Basically, yeah.
Sorry, lad.
It's all right. But yeah, I mean, I remember that, and I wish I could pop in for more of them. But it was really nice, like when you do get people that they just come in, you just chat about fucking shit, just fucking anything, and as long as it's like respectful, and people are going to disagree in certain things.
Yeah.
As long as you're just not an absolute wanker about it, it's nice. It's definitely a nice change of pace for sure, and you learn a lot about people that that's. As I said in the Discord, it's more of a personal level, and it's really nice because it's like, we're all random, weird people around the world connected by the internet, and sometimes it's actually nice to realize and treat people as people and not just some random bunch of letters and numbers on the internet. And it's like it's really nice. It's why it's like doing stuff like this. It's really cool. Learning about like just all of our guests that's coming on. It's really nice.
It's just basically just a Discord chat that was recorded live for everyone, and we talk mostly about DayZ, but Mia Khalifa, eh? Well, I never expected her name to pop up in a DayZ podcast, but when you've got Archie as a guest, anything can come up.
She looks like my sister, dude.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
It's gonna be a good one.
Honestly,
I love having Archie as a guest. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it, mate.
One sec. I can't get over how much me and Mark look alike. Look, wait a second. Watch this.
Oh God, he's sunglasses and everything.
I wanted to tell you about my new video. I've put out 3 new videos actually, and I want you to go and see them. Anyway, what are you going to say there, Boydie? I don't want to tie up the stream very much, but I just wanted to say a few things.
Oh no.
Perfect.
I love it. I love it. That's
fucking
gold, mate.
That's kind of a shock.
We look like cousins.
We do. We might be.
You might be kissing cousins, eh?
My grandmother's Irish. She's from Wicklow.
Yeah, not that close. Maybe though. Maybe you never know.
She's dead. She was an alcoholic.
I shouldn't be laughing.
That was good.
I like what Ike just put in chat as well. Mia Khalifa looks like your sister. That's got to be an awkward wank.
Nope. You mean when I do it to my sister or to Mia Khalifa? Either way.
This video is getting demonetized, but I don't care. It's funny.
Hey,
It's funny
you brought
shit.
me over here, man. You know, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's awesome. So, Archie, I want to talk about you, mate. You are a very divisive figure in the community, mate. You upset a lot of people. It's why I fucking love you, to be honest. You speak your mind. Sometimes you go a bit too far, but hey, so we all do, and yeah.
I mean, I don't mean to be divisive, honestly. I just like to call people on their bullshit.
Simple as.
Like, I mean, like if you're like going at people's throats for something you're doing, I'm gonna be like, wait a minute, you do that, you know? Here I have proof. And then if they want to get, you know, their cyber simps to come hate on me or stream snipe me or will, you know, downvote, dislike my YouTube videos, which why don't that counts as an interaction, by the way. That counts as a like, basically. Like people are just keep disliking. I don't care. It still counts as an interaction. But yeah, I don't mean to be divisive, but I'm not gonna be an obsequious sycophant and kiss anybody's ass. You know, I hate people who coattail their way to the top, because then once the ride is over, how the fuck are you gonna stay up there? You're not. You got to cheat, and you see a lot of that, especially in DayZ. So, you know. But I know I'm being redundant, but just to clarify, I don't intentionally go out and try to be divisive. I think I just say things and people are afraid to agree with me because there's so many people who, you know, come publicly to disagree.
Oh, look, there's a lot of people who won't have anything to do with me, mate, because I publicly supported you, and I really don't care. I don't
know why. Like, why no one has ever came to my DMs and said I have an issue with you. You know, no one has ever said anything to me about something I said to them. No one's ever faced me, or
look,
you know,
they've called you out for being racist because of the high ping video. I don't see that. I thought that was funny as fuck, and you addressed a legitimate concern that I just saw raised in another video I watched.
The definition of racism is I don't want to get off on politics, right? But I don't think they're intrinsically any different than anyone. So I just called out the fact that at the time there were a lot, and I will say, in retrospect, I should have been a little more sensitive, because there are a lot of Asian players who don't cheat, right? And I was kind of generalizing, and I was wrong for that. In retrospect, I saw my mistake, but in my defense, I was trying to be funny, you know what I mean? Because I didn't want it to be a super serious video. And, you know, I think people got upset because the wordplay on high ping, it's a double entendre or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It sounds almost like a Chinese name, and I could see taking a step back where that could be taken as offensive, but you would really have to dig in your emotions.
I'm going to completely disagree. I do not see that as racist at all. It was a funny joke. It was, as you said, it was what could possibly be a Asian sounding name, and you played on that. It was funny. Anyone who fucking is taking offense at that is... you need to fucking take a chill pill, man. It was a funny fucking joke.
I think a lot of them aren't even actually offended. They just want to pretend to be outraged because that's like the trendy thing to do. You know, like people get up and while they're taking their morning shit, they're thumbing through Twitter or whatever, trying to find something to be pissed off about. You know, like I can see in the new video I put out about hacking, people came in that video to try to lambaste me for saying racist shit, and I didn't say anything racist. So instead, they go into my comments and start picking fights with the people commenting on my video, and they're dropping like presidential names and shit. And it's like, what are you doing, man? Like, this has nothing to do with the topic of this video. But I don't know. It's not Reddit. Keep that shit on Reddit. That's why we all left Reddit.
But yeah, no, it was a good video that addressed it, and I saw it mentioned again in another completely irrelevant channel where it's a legitimate issue. I can't remember what the game was. It might have been fortnight. I think it was about fortnight. I was watching a video, a new channel I found, the death of games, and they were talking about the death of Fortnite and how, for some reason, the Asian servers, in particular in China, weren't that good. So all of the Chinese players were connecting to the North American servers to get a decent server experience. But that was bringing the ping issues, and it showed people like Dr. Disrespect and all the rest of it dying due to the ping difference. If you don't know what the ping difference is all about, there's a really good video by a fella, Wacky Jackie. He's a PUBG streamer, and he did a video explaining the peak advantage you have with ping, a ping-related peak advantage for a PvP game. And it blew my mind. I didn't realise just how much ping affected you and the advantage you could get. Basically, if you peak, by the time you peak, if the ping is very different between you and the other person, you could basically get a shot off, and to the other person it will look like you just fired through the wall. They won't even have seen you peeked out. It's a massive issue, and barring putting ping limits on the servers, which kind of sucks when we're a global community. Look, I've got 2 people from America, 2 from the UK, and 1 from Australia in here. If we were all to try to play on a server together, the ping between us all would be over 300.
Ugh. We're not from America. We're from Tennessee.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm from Ireland, actually. It's not England. Get your facts right.
UK, I said.
Well, Northern Ireland.
Not the UK.
So anyway.
And thank you so much for the donations from Michael and Luke. I have to acknowledge them. Thank you so much, guys. Mark's doppelganger just needs some 5 o'clock shadow, and it would be uncanny.
See, I mean, how do I even start this? I remember when Tencent, if I remember rightly, they bought a stake in the company for Bohemia.
Yes.
And and then all the Chinese servers started cropping up. And no matter what you think about the Chinese and their their gaming culture, whatever, the way that I see it is that more players, more people around the world are getting more acquainted with DayZ. And that's great. They're getting their own servers, they're getting their own experience. I'm happy all for that. And, if they want to try and go and play in other servers, like North American, EU servers, go for it. When X2K started, we had a little bit of a Chinese player base playing, and it was really nice. But income with that was a lot of racist individuals. And we had to deal with that because obviously racism, it's just pointless. Like, we're all just people. Like, different characteristics of your face and your color and what, like, just I won't even go into it because it's fucking stupid. But at the same time, well, not at the same time, but when people make, I mean, I haven't seen the full video, Archie, so I won't comment too much about it because obviously I don't want to be saying misinformation. But from what the sounds of it, like, you made a joke, and it's a joke. Like, it's a joke. Need I really say more about this? Like, jokes are...
But like I said, a lot of the people aren't even... Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
absolutely right. People, they're not even really actually offended. They just want something to piss them about.
Yes.
And that's it. It's like, humor is very subjective. It obviously differs from person to person. Like, you could say one joke and I would piss myself fucking laughing. Like the Uncanny Marks bit, right? That was genuinely funny. But to somebody else, it could...
I don't know why it's funny that we're both handsome, but...
They've got the same hairline too.
Stop.
Genetic. Comes from our dad. Watch your mouth. I'll pull your hands together and throw you in the river.
Fuck off. But when people start to virtue signal, and this is going slightly political, so I won't talk too much about it. It's just ridiculous. Like, you're getting offended on the behalf of somebody who might not even be offended at all. Let them speak.
But you've got to be able to laugh at yourself as well. Like, I just said I watched Dave Chappelle's comedy Blister, and he even made a joke about veterans in there, and it was funny. It was fucking funny. I laughed. I laughed. I cringed a little inside. It was like, fuck, he's really going all into this special. But I loved him for doing it, Blister.
Yeah. Anybody who served knows how it is behind the curtain at the Wizard of Oz is just a little old man. So it's always funny to me when people make fun of service members. Like, I'm still active duty in the military, right? And I'll make like service member jokes and people will come at my neck for it. And I'm like, you don't even know what it's like. We really do this shit. That's why it's funny, But anyways, they're treating service members like we're some kind of disabled, marginalized group, and it's anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Ike, when it comes to comments like that, I just got to full-heartedly agree. Yeah.
But what about you,
people just need to lighten up.
Sorry, what was that?
People just need to lighten up.
Yes.
Let stuff roll off their back. You ain't got to just hold on to it and be mad.
Words are words. Like, it's
yeah.
It's not gonna like.
Especially in DayZ, man. Yeah, this is DayZ. Like it's we all have the same hobby. It's this fucking game. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We all play it way too much, and then when one guy makes a video and makes a joke about with a little wordplay that you can, oh my god, finally something I can complain about in the comments. Like, you're the one with the problem, man.
Yeah.
Just fucking go away, because all we're gonna do is laugh at you in Discord anyway. Yep.
Just let it go. Just let it go.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get us wrong, it's like when people like they joke on and they complain about the game, like we all complain about the game. We complain about little aspects. It's like when we're talking about the tripwires, or somebody in your comment section just called them traps, apparently, because the blanket statements are really cool. But like we all complain about the tripwires. Complain about the grenades and how they function, and that was a genuine complaint. Especially when people with military experience, they were talking about it. That's not how grenades work. It's fine. But then you get people who will find the tiniest little detail, and they will bitch and complain because apparently that's what their life is. And it's like, look, you don't enjoy the game. You're only kicking a dead horse at this point. Just. We're laughing at you, mate. Not with you. Just stop it. Like,
yeah.
And this is not me being a fanboy. This is just me being absolutely realistic. Like, if I got to the point where I was like really annoyed at the game and I hated the game, I would not play the game and I would not advocate for that game at all. I wouldn't be wearing the fucking merch. I wouldn't be playing the game every single day. I wouldn't be modding for it. I wouldn't be creating videos for it. And that would be the same for everybody else. But apparently, because some cool people are shitting on the game constantly for the past, 8 years? Apparently it's still cool.
I've started a new channel in the DayZ podcast Discord, and it's called The Hall of Shame. And no one's really noticed it yet, but I've started collecting DayZ is Dead videos. It was, Marks, when you did one. It made me think about it. How many of them are out there? You've gotten yours down because you realise you were wrong when you made them that. But there's so fucking many of them. Where did it go? I'm just trying to find it. The Hall of Shame.
There's so many channels.
There it is. So we've got Rusky, the day DayZ died.
I actually watched that video, and it's genuinely a really enjoyable watch.
Yeah.
I've watched that one as well.
A lot of people say, don't give them any attention or anything like that. But it's interesting to watch them because they do raise at times some valid points. Hugbox, DayZ is dead, 4 years in early access. Node, why DayZ is dead. General Sam, people still defend this horrible game in 2017. And he said Adam made trees though, who's on the thumbnail. But General Sam's got a couple of them out there. But I really want to see a video, and it's one that I've ummed and ahed about I'm doing on the podcast channel. But DayZ, we had the charts up there before. There's something about this fucking game. It is the ultimate undead survival game. It just keeps them coming back from the fucking dead. down to 3,000, now up over 30,000, and just growing and growing. You know, you look at the all-time chart, and it's still on a climb up.
And that's just the PC aspect. Go on, Max.
I was planning on making a video probably next month or something. I was going to title it, Will DayZ hit 50,000 players in 2021, I think I was going to call it. And I was going to point out, give reasons why. That's why I think it might, by the end of the year, hit the 50k, because it hit 45,000 last year, I think. So I was still thinking of doing that. It's probably going to get, well, you know, like every DayZ video, some type of backlash. So yeah, still thinking of doing it. Though.
Well, you've given me a good segue there. We actually did get the answer from the dev team to our dev questions. So Scotty's been very, very busy moving, and obviously 1.14. So the question that they chose to answer was, since the DayZ team is expanding, what is the support for 2022? Answer. It's no secret the DayZ team is indeed expanding, and would make sense to answer this question without revealing too much. We are happy to announce DayZ will receive the same support similar to the release structure of 2021. All platforms during Q1 will have more focus on the stability of the game, making sure the foundations are set for future content. Then we will continue to add a healthy ratio of new content, fixes and balancing throughout the rest of the year. Further hot fixes and patches are planned to support each update if needed. Holiday events will also be returning in a similar fashion to 2021. More will be publicly announced at later, but we aim to add more focus to the Livonia map for 2022. And he puts a little wink face there. As for now, we still have 2021 to finish up on, and you should expect the following. There's been a lot of circumspection about whether there's going to be 1.15. 1.15 confirmed. 1.15 update, Halloween event, Christmas event, 2021 year in review video. So that's what we've got left. Like, I really look forward to the year in review video.
Wait, is that in order?
In order.
115 update, Halloween event.
No, in order. Halloween event, 1.15 update, Christmas event, 2021 year in review video.
So we're getting 1.15 in November.
Before Christmas is what I heard. Yeah, like late November.
Okay.
That's really fucking cool. You know, they didn't have to take the time to answer that specific question, but that's just generating more hype for me. That's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
And it is a nice comfort to know that, because, you know, there was a lot of speculation that I've seen and heard that they were going to just they were going to just reduce how much they were going to update for 2022, because at that point, DayZ as a concept would have been out for 10 years. Well, a bit longer than that, actually, really. So I heard people saying that they're just going to cut down on it. You don't. just you don't. No, but
give them ambient.
But it is really, really nice to see that they continue to support the game, which means 5 more updates for 2022. And I can't fucking wait. I just really can't.
Every
wait
game's doing that now, though, to be fair. Like, look at Rust, man. They just drop like 4 or 5 big updates, you know, every
Rust
year,
is
because there's no reason to have a sequel anymore. Like, there's no GTA 6, and there's not going to be for a long time, because they're just going to keep dropping, remasters and new updates. They don't have to. They don't have to, you know. And most games that do drop constant sequels, it's just reskins, like Call of Duty shit anyway.
Yeah.
So FIFA, Call of Duty,
exactly. Shit, all those shitty games that. Oh, and the new FIFA has a stamina system. Who fucking cares? Like,
but it looks like last year's.
Yeah, exactly. But I honestly think it's going to be like Rust, where they just keep dropping updates to the same game. I mean, basically, 1.14 is like a sequel. It changed pretty much everything about the game, as far as like the entire dynamic. Like, now you have to pick up the NBC suits because you could possibly get gassed. You have to use the blood packs now.
You have to at least carry a gas mask on you, so that if a drop does happen on you, you're going to get cut, but at least you won't get poisoned.
Yeah, I mean, it's really like, it's almost like, and now if you look at like the game art and shit, it all has to do with like hazmat zombies or hazmat suits. It's a whole nother like brand, so it could could basically be a sequel, but they're just dropping them as updates, and they're free.
They gave it with one simple change. They gave the game a whole fresh new injection of life. I've been playing DayZ Down Under Enhanced Vanilla server and fucking loving it. The amount of choppers I've heard, and even though it's still growing the community around that server, running to the choppers is nerve-wracking because I heard it. Who else fucking heard it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it's like, what, the range is a kilometer, so you hear the helicopter, you have to make that choice, right? I'm going to go to this helicopter, got to predict where it's going to be, and then you got to be like, right, as you said, who else heard it? How many groups of people heard it? If anyone at all.
They all heard it. The heli crash here and theirs, you know what I'm saying?
All the loot.
Yes.
I'll hide in the tree line. Smack them.
Yeah. Yeah. But
no, I agree with Boydie, though. I think the last update that was of this caliber was when they added base building. Like, that changed the game.
Yeah.
And then this has changed the game in the same fashion. So it's like, I think they are just going to, and they gave how many updates this year? 4 or 5? Like
4 so far.
This is the fourth one.
4, and there's going to be 5. So that's pretty, that's nice considering we don't have to pay for it. I will say, though, before I forget, I'm sorry I interrupted you, lad. If they're going to start working on Livonia more, I don't think that's going to get as big of a reception as they expect, because a lot of people don't like that map and a lot of people don't want to pay for it. So I think that would be, I don't know it. I'm not I'm a small time game dev / content creator, but to me that seems like a waste of time.
I would still like to see a brand new map.
This is going to sound sacrilegious for me, but I'm actually excited for the changes to Livonia. As regular viewers in the podcast know, I don't like Livonia. Well, it's not bad, but it's still not a map I would like to play regularly. But if they do actually decide for 2022, they're going to change it up. They're going to, I wouldn't say overhaul it, but they're definitely going to make it more appealing. Then maybe people might actually be more interested to buy the Livonia DLC, give more of a reason to play it, and have something really unique that brings to the table. And the team's already demonstrated they can do that. They can make something unique and make something really, really interesting that brings players in. 1.14 proved that. So in 1.16 or 17 or 18 or whatever, if they bring something that makes people want to play Livonia and enjoy that unique experience, I'm all for it. Go for it. I can't fucking wait.
I love Livonia. I absolutely love it. I love how hard it is, even on vanilla. I've always liked it, but I'm speaking for like the people that's why I don't make any guide content based around Livonia, because like just no one asked for it. No one responds to it.
I just realized I have to now make Livonia videos when the update comes out. Oh, God.
Get fucked.
Jesus.
Content.
What about you, Blister? Do you like Livonia?
Livonia's all right, but they're competing with map creators that have put out decent maps this year. Like, some people like Takistan. I'm not a huge fan, but people like it. And you had Esker drop. That's popular. But as far as Bohemia's maps, they have to push Livonia because they have to keep up with these people that are creating maps.
Mm-hmm.
The standard of the BI maps versus most of the modded maps is completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know some map creators out there, how would I say it? It's like Deer Isle. That map has gone through so many phases, it's absolutely ridiculous, and so many changes. And it is a really good map. It's really enjoyable. It brings something unique. Namolsk, I'm not even going to say anything more because it's just a fucking superb map. Takistan, that definitely needs something. Like, yes, sure, the sandstorms are really interesting, and mods that are coming out to support it with clothing and whatnot, really cool, but it's nothing special. Nothing special at all. But
this is why
Go on.
Sorry, lad. But this is why I'm worried about Kaima that's coming out as well. Because there was so much hype built up for Takistan. And like people were expecting it to be the greatest map ever, and now with Kaima, like around the corner, which is the other desert map. I'm like, oh, I'm a little bit worried. I'm like, don't know what the reception is going to be in there.
How much more can you do with it? Add camels?
Yeah. It's going to be interesting.
Well, Well, see, the thing is, I would have liked Pakistan a little bit more if the weather was similar to Namalsk in terms of how it affected you. Obviously not with the cold, but with the heat. You know, right now you can literally dress up in the hottest kind of clothing with the best insulation to keep your character warm, and you won't even fucking feel a thing. And that's a really bad thing about Pakistan. So, you know, if servers out there, they improve the weather system, or the temperature system, where they can make it hotter, then great, that's fantastic, but it should come out of the box, as I would say. But again, at the same time, it's a mod. And other teams who create different maps in a similar style, like more desert maps, more winter maps, more forest maps, whatever, I like it because everyone has a different interpretation on how to bring something new. And if it genuinely is unique, go for it. And it goes back to what I was saying about the DayZ dev team. They could bring something really unique to Livonia and really appease the people who already like it, but hopefully bring in the people who are absolutely skeptical about the map.
Yeah.
Like myself. I enjoyed it when I streamed it on my birthday, but it wasn't a map that I haven't played since, you know, because I don't want to, because it's nothing special to me. But maybe future updates, it will be. And again, like I said, I genuinely can't wait.
I just hope whatever they're bringing is not fucking aliens. I don't know what it is with the thing with DayZ and aliens. I don't know.
Yeah, aliens isn't that big of a step from zombies for me, so I can forgive that. But yeah, just have to quickly share a screenshot. Yay or nay in chat? Does this look delicious?
Yes, it does.
We're talking about Marks.
I mean, yeah.
Well, that's a yes, obviously.
He
That
is
looks
a
good, yeah.
But that, you delivered. Very nice. When can I come?
We need a video of him eating this.
Just overlay the crunching sound for DayZ over it, just as he eats it.
Yeah.
Are you talking about this Twitter picture of a miscarriage? Is that what is that?
Shut the fuck up.
He thinks he's getting better. He even did bacon.
Oh, bloody hell.
It looks like the exact. That's what I wanted to point out. It looks like he's got one fucking go-to herb and spice recipe, and he just, I'm doing fish, same fucking packet of herbs and spices. There's meant to be some nuance, mate. Different herbs go with different meats and all the rest of it. So you need to expand your repertoire, buddy. But
I
yeah,
used to be a chef. If you have any questions, I'll make a great methamphetamine.
Damn.
I got that recipe.
Now, Archie, the cheaters video, mate.
Oh, cheaters.
Oh, cheaters.
They will ruin DayZ again.
Okay, let me explain that. I took this idea from Marks because I noticed his ambiguous titles are, the clickbait. It works.
They do work, that's for sure.
I'm just kidding. But somebody was telling me how, oh, look, Marks does that. And I was like, hey, it worked. Because I knew that people were going to see this video and go back to the other hacker video. And they were immediately going to think I was going to say some edgy shit. So when I said they will ruin DayZ again, immediately they're thinking about the people who were spoken about before. So they're the racists.
Big brain energy right there.
And then I don't say anything about China in the whole video.
But talk us through the video, because it's like I didn't really watch all of it, like I said before. So just talk to us about it.
Okay. I love vanilla. I love official servers. If you ever watch my Twitch streams, all I did was troll people, because no one watches you if you just run around and actually play DayZ. I mean, you're going to get maybe 30 viewers. The people who are running around playing DayZ, that are getting 300 and 400 viewers that aren't getting any content, they're fucking faking it. I'm sorry. I don't care. DM me and I'll blow your spot up. But anyway, I wanted to, no one can play officials, you know, because I got on the officials, and like I said in that video, all I was trying to do was shoot an intro video, and I couldn't even get out of Berezino. I just kept getting killed over and over and over, or I would get, and it wasn't like hit uncon, like somebody sniped me. It was like 4 hits all at once, pants ruined, shirt ruined. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this is 114. The numbers are through the roof. Everybody's coming over here to play. The first place you play, my first 1,000 hours in the game were on official servers. I never even went to community. Then I made the worst mistake of my life and played on a server that banned me, but shall not be named. But like, people come to the official servers to play the game. They buy the game. They come over, and immediately they're just getting destroyed by hackers because they're going to pick the server with the highest population. You know, the one that's on top. And then that's where the hackers are. And then people are saying, I never see hackers. I've been playing on official for 2 months with the same character. It's like, motherfucker, you're on an empty server. Stop it. You know, you just want to argue. Like, if you go on a full server, I tested this shit because there's a guy I game with, Savage, and he's always on vanilla. Dr. V, who I used to absolutely abhor because he used to stream snipe the shit out of me. He's actually a really cool guy, and he does a lot to get hackers banned. He's like directly communicates with the devs and stuff. So I was talking to Dr. V about it. I was talking to Mr. Rager about it, another guy who's a vanilla head like me. And you just can't play on him. You can't do anything. Oh. And I was like, I remember the effect that the last video had. Like, they literally region locked the servers after that video came out. And, or whatever, ping locked them. So I was like, maybe, you know, we have this platform. They are sweeping this stuff under the rug, whether it's intentional or not. I don't think that it is, but I could be wrong. You know, I think if there's water, if there's holes in the ship, plug them, you know, don't ignore them. Because if I'm a new player and I buy this game and I jump on it and I just keep getting killed out of nowhere, and it's obvious that it's a cheater, you know, and there's stories all in that comment section from people who just, you know, had just got wrecked and just lost, you know, 6 hours running, getting geared up with their buddies, and they both get global killed, you know.
Yeah, same with my video as well.
I literally have a 1 minute portion of the video where a guy is using God mode and doing global kills on people in the building, and some guy in the comments was like, "There's no God mode cheats," and it's like, did you not fucking watch the video? You know, it's but people just want to deny that it's going on. But I just wanted to call it out because I'd rather play on vanilla official servers. I would rather play with people who are new to the game, who are still enthusiastic about it, because most community servers are way too fucking modded. You don't get the DayZ experience. Yeah. And it's not fun for me. You know, I like to play it for the survivalist aspect. And, you know, I like to raid bases. It's no secret. That's like my favorite thing to do besides trick people into killing themselves. But like in the game before I get canceled. But like I really hope that it brings to light the fact that BattlEye is fucking trash. And I don't care how many people try to make excuses for it with the whole, it's one guy in
the thing is, Archie,
company.
It's not just community now, mate. Official. Spud from DayZ Down Under messaged me saying that it's basically been like whack-a-mole with cheaters on his community servers lately as well. There's something going on. There's something going on right now.
They literally were advertising. I have it set where I have to approve all the comments on my videos. I'm sure Mark's does the same thing, but I have had to block like over 24 comments on this fucking video of cheaters advertising cheats. And it's
I think that's too.
It's like $5 to buy all the cheats, and it looks like it's like, the reason I said backdoored admin tools is because if you've ever seen admin videos like Anarchies or whatever, that's what the hackers see. They see the same things the admins see, but it's like a broken down, simpler version that doesn't really have as much access, you know. But I think it has something to do with, I'm not even going to go there. I'll wait till I got proof with that. But honestly, they need to take care of it. It's almost like there's no one. They're leaving it to BattlEye at Bohemia, as they should, because they paid them for the service. And every other game has some sort of webhook where you can report in game, because when you report a hacker or a cheater to BattlEye, they want a timestamp, they want footage, they want footage of like the entire interaction, not right before you died. They want like 10 minutes of footage. They want names of all the players that were in there with you, Steam accounts. They want you to do all the fucking legwork. You know what I mean? And then who knows if the guy ever gets banned or not? Which is why I like Dr. V's model where he just harasses the shit out of the devs until they ban the person, you know? And but I mean, if I bought this, I got DayZ for free, you know what I mean? Back in the day, my buddy bought it for me, and I've been playing. I've got 8K hours now. You know, I like to tell the girls that at the bar. They love it. But the people who are paying $60 for this and then paying extra for Livonia and shit, then playing with their buddies for 6 hours and then just running through the woods getting global killed. How do they know how to report it? There's nothing for them. So it's like the Wild West right now. The hackers have open reign, and that's not to even mention what you're talking about, Boydie, where server owners who pour all this time. The last week of my life, I've not even been able to make content because I've just been working on my server and fixing errors and shit. But like, you put all this time and energy and money into this, and then a motherfucker like Fonzie comes in and completely destroys your safe zone, kills people, puts invisible walls around people. You know what I mean? And it's like, there's nothing the devs are doing. No, I'm sorry, BattleEye is doing about it. You know, and people are gonna leave, and then DayZ is gonna get that reputation for being a fucking meme game again. That people just abandoned because unfortunately the developers are the ones getting blamed for the cheaters. You know?
Yeah, and it's an absolute fucking shame. And I did recall in your video where you suggested on the pause menu there be a BattleEye hook, like a webhook or something like that, where you can directly report a guy.
Like every game has that.
That would be absolutely fantastic. But I think the major thing that needs to happen is to get rid of BattleEye because it's not working. It's just straight up not working. Every single game that I've ever
definitely
played
need to go with somebody else.
I mean, what was it? Rainbow Six Siege? They use BattleEye. That game's
just as bad.
It's
like Arma.
Exactly. BattleEye does not work.
But what else is there out there? Like I don't know.
Easy
is that good? I know of easy. Scum uses easy anti-cheat, and he still has problem with hackers.
The thing is, and who you should have on for this, honestly, is Modern, because I don't mean to blow his spot up, but like he's had the shit in his server's being attacked and stuff, and he sees, like he actually commented. If you look in that comment section for Modern's comment,
there it is there.
Right there. There has been a major engine vulnerability since February. Several communities have been harassed by the hackers since then. The hacker, we know who it is. They are able to crash servers, freeze servers, spawn items, kill players, duplicate, edit weather, manipulate weather sounds and effects, and that really fucks you up, and more. Bohemia isn't on top of this like they should be, and players and communities are suffering because BI hasn't done anything. I think it's BattleEye's fault. You know, maybe they have a contract with them because that's how shit works, and they have to have it for so many months or years. But realistically, add the webhook, see if that works. If not, please go with somebody else, because like there's not these kind of problems in Rust. And I know somebody is sitting in the audience right now saying, what the fuck are you talking about? There's not. I mean, they get banned. There's a easier reporting system. EFT, there's a lot of hackers, but at least they're doing something about it.
Even PUBG has a decent reporting system where, and unfortunately, it because it was a PvP game, you used to watch some of the pro players streaming, and at the end of a really good game, they would generally be banned and they'd have to wait a few hours. But it allowed people to report suspicious behaviour and for them to temporarily ban the account until they were able to review and make sure of the issues there, whether it was legit complaint or whether it was just someone needs to get good. So when there's a mass reporting of someone, so it didn't happen too often. It would happen probably maybe every few weeks or months for the these really good streamers and that, but it was a system that allowed people to do something in game.
That was also probably more abuse because brigade reporting is something that trolls do to get you knocked off. It used to happen to me on Twitch all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens to me on Twitter every time. Like the DayZ team shouts me out, my shit's up there for 30 minutes and it gets taken down. Like it's happened twice, I think.
Because we spoke about that before.
People are going to exploit or abuse, rather, the in-game webhook if they do it in DayZ, just like they do in other games. And those other games have found ways and means to avoid that, or mitigate that. I'm not taking a paycheck to try to sort this shit out. Just like I said in the video, I hate people who just, bitch ad nauseum and don't offer a solution. My solution was that. Just I don't think you should leave Battle Eye. I didn't say that in the video. All I said was add a webhook. That way, when I die and I go to the death screen, it pops up there. Was this suspicious gameplay? I mean, they have the one that pops up, find a bug, report it to the feedback tracker. Has anyone ever tried to use that fucking feedback tracker?
Nightmare.
It's a fucking nightmare. It's like, I mean, and you don't get a second chance at a first impression. And I know I'm sound like I'm getting passionate about this, but this is my hobby. I love this game. It's an obsession. And when people come over, I want them to enjoy it, and their first impression is most likely going to be them dying to cheaters. That whole first 30 seconds of the video was like 15 minutes of compilations of people getting killed and saying they wanted refunds that Mr. Rager sent me, because he's always on. Mr. Rager and Dr. V are always on vanilla servers playing. That's like 15 or 20 minutes of different people complaining because they got legitimately killed by cheaters and refunded the game because they had less than 2 hours. And I don't think that hit as hard as I wanted it to hit for people. I think they thought it was funny, but that's a lot of different sales that just got reverse charged. And those people are going to tell people, don't buy this game. There's too many fucking
It's a hard one with DayZ because you can legitimately just be walking down the road and you are dead screen. But at the moment, they're not doing anything about it. And when you talk about with content creators and brigade reporting and things like that, there could be a system where, once you've reached a certain stage, you could have yourself added to a list that you're not insta-banned if you're brigade reported, but they still investigate it. You just give them your GUID to Bohemia Interactive or something like that, and they can add you so that, you could imagine people like Toprek and Dozing Chopper and those guys who are absolutely freaks at PvP would get brigade reported all the fucking time when they squad wipe 4 people jumping out of a bloody car that was moving at high speed.
I
agree.
When it comes down to the cheating situation and Battle I fully agree. The webhook, I'm surprised it hasn't been implemented already. Something like that, it is extremely helpful. And at the end of the day, DayZ is trying to go for the official vanilla audience. Yes, sure, it's got the community audience, and they do updates on PC for modding. That's great, but community is not something that you should just sell your game on. You need to sell the base game as what it's intended to be, and it's not intended to be a hacker's paradise. It's meant to be difficult. It's meant to be, hardcore, whatever you want to think about it. And people, as the start of your video showed, people aren't getting that experience. They're getting absolutely fucked over by hackers and cheaters, and it is an absolute shame. Now, I won't talk about the whole modern situation and the situation with the wall and the Third Temple and Fonzie, because whatever, I just don't want to talk about that.
Fuck that guy. That dude's a clown. Honestly, he's a fucking clown. Imagine living that life. You can't create anything, so you just thrive off destroying people who can. It's just a miserable lifestyle. Fuck that guy.
Here's the PUBG screen, just so you guys can see it. You have been banned from PUBG until due to unusual gameplay patterns. You can play again after 24 hours. Please visit support for more information. It's 24 hours. It's going to be an inconvenience if you were legit, but it's not the end of the fucking world.
Well, see, that's fine. My bank does that to my credit card every time I use the ATM at the strip club.
That's right.
And then I get access right back the next day when I'm sober.
I can see how that would work in a PvP game like PUBG, because it's you're in PvP, but in DayZ something like that wouldn't work because you spend 6 hours gearing up and surviving, and then you just kill one person and he reports you and suddenly you're banned for 24 hours. But I'd refund the game because of that shitty system.
This is usually this will only happen when it's a mass. When there's maybe you'll probably find that if this person here killed maybe 10 people in a game.
Right. Okay.
And
I think it'll be
when
more
there's
like
enough continuous reports, yes, it could still be exploited. If you get a bunch of people being spiteful about it, but you could implement ways where for you track who's doing the reporting. And if someone's found to be a malicious reporter, they're no longer able to submit reports. So there's systems in place to do it. Or there could be systems.
So Archie, I want to ask you something. When you were on the vanilla server, did you notice, were you on a full server or a hype hop server at least?
The only times we ever encountered hackers were on high or full pops.
Same thing happened to me, but it's weird. So when you get onto a full pop server and you're down at the coast, there is nobody down at the coast. It is surprisingly empty for a full server. And then all of a second it's just a crack and you're dead.
Yeah, I mean it happened to me in that video so many times. I would hear gunshots. I'm like, someone's raiding a base. We'd go running that way just randomly, and we're in the middle of the woods. There's no way this is some crack. There's no way it's Toprek hiding in the bushes, right? It was just whap dead, and you get hit like 4 times instantaneously.
Yeah, and you like I got in my video, I got hit. He must have been 700 meters away or something. I got hit out of nowhere, not a soul around, and then all of a sudden, instantly, he's on us, and he's like talking to us in game, telling us to put our hands up and shit. But of course, it was him cheating.
I had that happen to me not too long ago.
Yeah, go on, sorry.
I was going to say, I think to your point earlier, the way Rust does it, and I know it's a different game, this is a DayZ podcast, but the way they do it is they have a system where if you float too long, like in the air, you get kicked, right? And because they think you're cheating. If you move too fast, like running, you get kicked because they think you're cheating. All the ways, all the stereotypical, typical, whatever movements that cheaters use, you get kicked, right? So that whole 10 players in less than, a minute thing, whatever, that's justifiable because you have to be either A, extremely fucking good, B, on Adderall, or C, cheating, So it's like, and Rust really does it well. And it's hard for those cheaters to circumvent those because it's just base vanilla, script that's in place to kick those people. They also do. I mean, I don't think you need to keep different, regions from playing with each other. I've changed my mind on that, to be fair. They do have a ping advantage, right? But you're not getting in that much PvP on DayZ unless you're playing on deathmatch servers,
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, I digress.
You're making good points, mate. What were you going to say, Bucks?
I mean,
so when I put up my video, I had the producer of DayZ contact me on Twitter to give us some points. Now, I've mentioned this here before, so I'll briefly go through it again. He gave some points to. Since the start, he said first, since the start of 2020, they have banned 40,000+ accounts. Since the start of 2020. And they said one of the things that has made it even worse has been COVID, because everybody's been at home, nothing really to do. So apparently it's skyrocketed cheating since then. They do say that obviously BattlEye tries to cover it, or most of it, but they also do some monitoring on their side, a small bit, to flag any suspicious players and stuff. He said they can't go into anymore because of NDA reasons and security reasons. What else did they say? And that was kind of all he could go into. He couldn't go into anymore because of NDA. He was able to get the person that killed me banned.
I remember.
I had to give him video information and rough times and stuff like that. And he came back to me a few days later and said that he actually was cheating. But that's a lot of accounts to ban, and this would have been, it's still less than a year, like 40,000 accounts.
I don't believe it.
It's crazy.
I honestly think it's full of shit. I mean, I guess they watch this podcast. Prove that you banned 40,000 people. I don't believe that shit at all. There's not that many people buying this game and playing it. I don't believe it.
He didn't say.
I will say this though. I've never seen BattlEye ban anyone personally. It's always been DayZ or a dev that you report it to. There's one dev, and I don't know if I can say his name on the stream or not, but he's the one who, when I encounter a hacker, I send the footage and such to Dr. V, and Dr. V, he has like a rapport with this guy, so he sends it to the guy, and the guy checks the footage, and if it checks out, he bans it. I've never seen BattlEye do shit, and I've been playing this game for a decade.
Now,
I don't know. Posted in the Facebook group recently that they got banned by BattlEye. They trialed. It was the weirdest post. Basically, he wanted to experiment with the hacks to see what all the hype was about. Tried it, and then he logged back in the next day, and he was banned. BattlEye had caught him. So I'm certain it's happening. It's just
Good. I mean, now go buy the account again, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like why?
That's what he
why cheat at this game? People either get good, get mad, or get hacks. And their biggest excuse every time I would run into a hacker is everybody else is cheating. Really? I'm not, you know? Like, and they're always asked too. Like in the video, there was a guy running hacks who runs up to a duo and gets just melted, you know, and he's got all the cheat codes. Yeah, this shit just gets me flustered because I get so upset.
Yeah. But it's nice in saying there, BattleEye doesn't have any game knowledge. He just looks for odd shit in Windows. DayZ could do it, but not knowing what mods are running makes that hard. Only mods can detect stuff like that as they are aware of community, of admin tool mods. So community servers have got the admins running around. You know, you've got people like Anarchy who's work out how to monetize it. We've talked about that before. I don't know whether he's glorifying it. I'm torn on his videos, to be honest. But we're talking more about the official servers where there are no admins sitting there monitoring it. It's just a bunch of people playing.
There's no that's admin, so no one else would be running 200 miles an hour like an admin or TPing like an admin, and it would immediately be sus behavior, and they would get kicked, just like Rust. There's no admin on the official servers. You know, no one comes to save you or flip your car over or, you know, get you unstuck out of your base you locked yourself into.
Like saying there, I write software for a living, but know nothing about game development. BattleEye kicks me when I forget to close some tools I use.
Yeah.
On the thing about is it promoting it, I was told by the devs when I released that video that it was promoting it. I don't know if Archie you've had any comments like that yourself, where it's just like, why make this video just promote it? But it's like, it needs to be said at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah, I don't care about anything they say. No one wants you to know that no game developer wants you to know that when you play this game, your first 100 or 200 hours, you're most likely going to get your ass kicked by cheaters, you know? No one wants that out there, but that's the problem. This whole like crisis management shit, you know? And I don't care if they like me or not. I really don't care. I mean, I care about the people who want to play the game or people like myself who want to play on vanilla and get that experience because I don't like running around with a Lapua and cheetah print pants and pink Humvees and shit, you know? I want to play the game.
The pink Humvees.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, lad. I love the pink stuff, but yeah.
That's what you look
like my favorite, cheetah print pants.
Yeah. See, that's not me though. To each her own, I guess. But like,
that's right.
That's not for me.
I encountered a good cheater said by himself who was cheating to kill cheaters on an official server. Yeah, that's a facepalm.
I mean, that's like the white hat hacker argument. Oh, I'm just hacking to get the bad hackers, you know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
sorry, go on, Max, go on.
You're never going to stop cheating at the end of the day.
No.
Someone is always going to stop cheating. You know, you can always try and put a stop to it and dampen it a bit, but at the end of the day, I don't know why people decide to cheat. I can't figure it out, but people are always going to do it. People are always going to make money off of doing it, you know, by selling cheats and so on. So
I get why they do it. I mean, when I first played DayZ, I was garbage. There was no tutorials. Same. There's still really not. There were no guides on YouTube. There was nothing. I mean, it was such a learning curve, and you know, you get mad when you just keep getting smacked, you know, and then you get that gear fear and your heart's pounding and you get that adrenal dump. You know what I mean? That cortisol in your blood. And you don't want to die, you don't want to lose, so you go and you Google DayZ hacks, and then you buy them for $6, you know.
Yeah,
but to me, it's not worth it. It's lame. I'm not gonna lie. 10 or so years ago, when this came out, when I was like 21 years old, and I wasn't a content creator and shit. Sure, the thought crossed my mind, but I was a dipshit kid, you know. And then I just got better at the game. So. And then most of them are just doing it to grief anyway. They're going into a guy or a pair of players who went and built their base on an official server that was empty. So they thought they were good. And they spend all this time, you know, building this base. And then a hacker comes in, kills them and steals it, or just deletes it, you know, or like when we would be base raiding on stream and the hackers would go into the base we were raiding and we could see them deleting the tents and barrels and shit. You know, it's just to grief, you know.
100%.
Personally, because you know, I've just been letting you guys talk about it because you know, you're really in depth. But I mean, when it comes to white hat hackers, just like Ike says, you know, they're absolutely a thing. I would love to be able to understand how the engine functions completely, and I would love to be able to. I wouldn't say it reverse engineer, but I would love to find out how everything actually functions, because I'm interested in how the game does function. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to be a modder. And yeah, I'm not a coder or anything like that. I don't script, but I would love to get more information about it. And when it comes to individuals who say that they are the good hackers, I'm more inclined to agree with them if they can prove it. If you're a legitimate player and then you come across a guy who is hacking, who's doing global kills, who's speed hacking, who's been an absolute wanker, and you can use those same tools against them,
that
really
makes,
ruin their day, that's fine. But at the same time, if you
can
can
have a Dragon
provide
Ball
that
Z fight with
information,
each other, like,
well, yeah, I fucking, I like the sound of that. But at the same time, if people who know how to get around the system, who like genuine people who are really passionate about the game, who know how to get around the system, who know how to get around these exploits, can talk about it with the right people in the right positions to get it sorted out, that would be fantastic. But the problem is that there's not enough or any people that are actually doing it. Yeah, sure, you've got the modders who they create really cool pieces of kit for server owners and server admins to do their job properly. Great, fantastic. But again, at the same time, what about the people on vanilla? There isn't enough security there. There isn't enough, I don't want to say love.
There's none, man. There's none.
Oh, yeah.
There's none.
Yeah.
There's nothing going that way. I mean,
yeah, and
it's like set it and forget it.
Mm-hmm. And it's a sad thing. And it's like, with your suggestion of having the BattleEye plugin on the pause menu, that's a really, really good start. But at the same time, it's like, how far, if that ever happens, will it go? Will that just be it? Probably. But it's not the developer's fault, and I feel sorry for them because they get a lot of shit.
I agree.
Because and I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure we'll probably be talking about the interview with Hicks. But it's, the developers have had a lot of shit over the past few years, and have had a lot of shit at them completely just wrong. Like, the wrong people will be blaming. It's not their fault. And people need to fixate their shit slinging at the right people, but it's just not happening, and it's falling on deaf ears.
I think we all need
the
to
hacking
respect.
situation gets better.
Yeah.
Which it probably won't, but I'm a naive in that aspect.
It seems like it always does have a downturn. Once enough people start complaining about it, which is what I was going to say, we do have a platform. People listen to this podcast. People listen to YouTube videos. The devs even listen to these. I mean, we make suggestions, and then bam, they're in the game. But there is a platform, and if people do, collectively have a grievance, usually they try to come out with some way to mitigate that. I'll give them that. I don't think, like I said earlier, I don't think BI is really at fault, because I think they're paying for a service that they're not getting.
Yes.
And like guys said in chat, you said, yeah, it checks your scripts and what's on your computer, and if you've got certain things open, it's gonna. But that's been the same for 10 years, And if it was really an issue if people made it a big enough issue that they said, oh, we can't just keep striking these hacker videos and stuff.
Yeah,
there's more hacker videos left up, like selling their hacks, than videos talking about hackers.
Yeah, I do want to talk about that, actually. I want to put in my opinion. I will say that it's... Hello, Scotty, by the way. I do want to say that it's absolutely ridiculous that talking about the hacking situation, talking about the cheating situation, raising awareness about it in the interest of being like, look, this is how bad the situation is. You are literally losing money by people refunding your game because they're getting absolutely fucked over in the first couple of hours, as you've said, Archie. And it's like, your video gets struck down for that, but then you'll get some random person, and God knows where, putting up videos advertising their cheats and their hacks. They're making Google adverts about it, right? They've got websites dedicated for it, and yet nothing happens to them. But the innocent guy who's passionate about the game, who wants the game to succeed, and they're they're trying to make people aware, like, this is the situation, this is the black and white facts, this is the bread and butter of what's actually going on, and they get struck down. Whoever's making those decisions, or whoever seems to think that's a good idea, spoiler alert, it's fucking not. It makes me personally, I wouldn't say dissatisfied, but disheartened about what you're trying to accomplish. Like, you're trying to make a game over the past God knows how many years, and you've got a genuine serious problem, and it's not getting addressed. And when people are trying to get it addressed, you're shutting them down. As much as I love the game, that will actually fucking kill the vanilla servers. People are just
it really already has,
and that's.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Before 114, they were dead. Like, and then 114 comes out, all the content creators make content, and now they're full, they're filling up, and then these people are getting on there and they're getting abused by the people using exploits and scripting, and they're gonna leave and they're gonna say, I've got less than 2 hours, I can refund this, and that's what they did, And the whole thing is, I wanted to show people how to get the names, how to make the reports. It's still a fucking laborious process to report people, but you can still do it. Or just go to community servers and play. I don't want people to have to run to community servers, but if they're gonna not get killed constantly by a guy running scripts, then go for it. But most people that are new to the game, I didn't know how to use community servers until probably like 500 hours in. I saw a YouTube video about DayZ Underground, and it had the step-by-step. This was like 8 years ago. It had the step-by-step process on how to join the server, and I was like, "There's a fucking community tab? Like, what?" But,
well, you're providing a pretty decent segue into another topic I want to talk about, which was Brian Hicks's interview that he did with PC Gamer, and where he talked about in the early days of DayZ, when they didn't have anything, he used to, and I remember these days, and people used to say it was favoritism given to the various streamers who were playing. But you now understand why he was doing it, because that was the easiest way to catch all of these cheaters, and how he would just simply teleport them out into the middle of the ocean so they would freeze to death.
I love that. I read the article and I was really fascinated with it. And, as you said, Boydie, I mean, maybe it's a joke or not, but the NDA is gone. Hey!
Yeah.
But it's actually really interesting to see an actual behind-the-scenes look. You're like, no, not trying to shit on Bohemia or the team, but actually like a reality check. This is how it actually was. This is what we had to deal with. This is the situation that we were in back then. This is what we had to put up with. And when I read it, I've read it a couple of times just so I knew it sank in. I don't blame Dean Hall for leaving, and I certainly don't blame Brian Hicks for leaving. And the people who have stayed, the people who are still continuing the game, they have more respect from me. In that regard, they've got way more respect from me, because if you think it's bad then, yes, sure, it's probably gotten better now, but at the same time, it's like there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that obviously they'll never talk about. But at the same time, it's like, look, we need a bit more transparency. Well, we don't need it. It would be nice, but yes, take care of yourself, Ike, by the way. Much love to you, dude.
Yeah, the day Sumrak leaves, this shit's done.
I will say, like, as much as I have respect for the team, I hope Sumrak stays in for the long haul. But obviously, at the end of the day, like with anybody in any team, in any company, in any project, they will leave sometime. And I just hope that whoever comes in to replace them carries the mantle properly.
But Hicks's interview was mind-blowing. Did you read it, Marks?
No.
Mate, you should.
I didn't.
You really
You
should.
never read anything.
No.
He doesn't know how to read.
I can barely write, okay?
What about you, Blister? Did you read it?
No, I hadn't read that one yet.
You should.
It was a fascinating read. It was... what they went through in the development. Like, he even talks about how 0.63, and the push for 1.0 and how unhappy he was about that. And they copped a lot of shit. He's copped a lot of shit from people. And then to find out that he was like the rest of us and thought it was a bad idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually quite surprised at that because I was surprised at the Survivor games as well, how you touched on that. But I mean, because back then, obviously, a lot of us thought, you know, the decisions made for 0.63 and 1.0, it was, you know, it had to happen that way. Like, this was the only way it was going to happen. And it literally was just done for the console release. And it's like, that is fucked.
I think they just needed the injection of capital, though, man.
Yeah, they did. Don't get us wrong. I love our console players. You know, I love, like, if you can play DayZ, awesome. You're in the fucking community. Welcome aboard. But don't sacrifice your content and your game just to appease and get that cash injection. Like, that is going to fuck you over in the long term. And to this day, you still get people railing on DayZ because the legacy content still isn't back in. Like, I know we're going to be talking about the SKS, you know, the speed loaders, the Magnum speed loaders, you know, there's certain, like, you know, weapons that still haven't been reintroduced, like the rack, the Red 9, like, and all that shit, right? And it's like, yes, sure, we've got really cool content in the past 14 patches since release, but at the same, it wasn't a good decision at the time, and the game would have probably been a lot better if it was delayed.
They delayed us.
But when you look at it at the same time, at that point in the game's development, the game was on death's door. Like, it was like, what, that final nail in the coffin, ready to be hammered down. So maybe in hindsight it was the best decision, but it's I don't know. I'm very divided on it. But at the same, like, I keep saying that at the same time, but in reality, that was the reality. That was what happened. You got to face it. So it's like, I don't know.
I think the slow drip of returning mechanics and guns and, you know, stuff like that, they're doing that on purpose because they have to have, you know, a reason to keep us coming back. If they just pushed it all out at once, you know, it would be a short hype and then it would be right back to, when are we getting bows? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I want to see the rack back in every single PD on the coast again too, you know, but
yes,
it'd be nice to find something other than the Scorpion.
And like Kara said, don't get us wrong, that the state of DayZ right now is fantastic, yes. But the decisions of the past are still haunting the game to this day, and that is not a good way to go about it. Like, I really hope that in 1.15, 1.16, that we really start to see legacy content come back. Like, there's a lot of good content that the game really had, and it'd be so nice to have it back. Like, the org, well, probably is going to give that in 15. There's no point in remaking the model in 1.14 and doing nothing with it. Like, come on, guys, seriously. But the other weapons, the other stuff, I wouldn't say would need it, but it would be really, really cool if there was a focus on getting that content back.
The only thing I want is to be able to hold reload and spin the revolver cylinder again and play Russian roulette.
Yes, I want Legacy Roulette back. That's what I call it, Legacy Roulette. I want that back.
What was your take on the behind the scenes dealings with Bohemia in this one, Archie?
I actually talked to Brian Hicks one time in the stream. I don't know if it was mine or his, and he was talking about his whole experience with it. And from there, I don't remember if he said it or someone else said it, but we were referred to Glassdoor.com, where employees can review their employers. And we looked at the Bohemia Interactive Glassdoor reviews, and that's when I realized that Bohemia is a big ass company, and DayZ was like a small little, you know, subcategory within that company, and they had to do whatever the fuck the bigwig said. And anybody who's ever worked for a corporation or anything knows that the people in the boardroom are out of touch with everything going down on the factory floor. So I think they were forcing them to push out updates, forcing them to, it was all about making money, right? So that's where the players suffered.
Which it has to be, they're a business. They need to make money to survive.
True. I agree 100%. And like when Livonia came out and everybody pissed and moaned because it had to be a DLC, what the fuck did you think was going to happen, dude? It's a BI game. Every BI game has 20 DLCs you got to pay $15 for. If they ever introduce choppers, you're probably going to have to buy a DLC to use them, just like Arma 3 and Arma 2 or whatever. So, I mean, that's just this company because they need the injection of capital to keep the game alive and to keep development going, I mean, things maybe have changed. This has been years, but I don't know. I think it was a huge loss when he left, not just because he's from Kentucky, I do believe, and he's another hillbilly, but like me. But I really like him, and he was like one of the first devs that ever like started answering questions, that I would ask, and he was always receptive, and he cared about the game, and to the point where that was him, you said, right? That was teleporting hackers out into the ocean to freeze them to death? Or
I believe it was Dean Hall.
Yeah,
Dean Hall did that, yeah.
Brian Hicks, like, he was talking about the hacker problem once, and I listened to it. Like, he at least he admitted it, because now they won't even talk about it. Like, I thought that was just a joke that people were saying, how they like sweep it under the rug. They really don't talk about it, about how bad the cheaters are. But yeah, I took a lot away from that article. I'm actually going to share it on the Discord after too, because it's a really good read, and it's a really good insight into the climate and the culture at Bohemia. And if you ever get time, go to Glassdoor.com and look up those reviews of Bohemia. Like it's like it's like working for a feudal enterprise or something. It's crazy how bad those people, and they're only making like $35,000 a year, which is like, an entry-level salary. It's not great. And then to do all that work and put out an update to a game just to have everyone piss and moan about it, there's no satisfaction in that whatsoever,
No. Which is probably why it's like, I'm not going to try and like suck our own dicks or anything like that, but it's probably why when we talk about the game, we try to bring some positive light to it, and bringing, you guys coming in, like you guys in to talk about it, and we talk about the positive sides. It must be a really nice breath of fresh air for them, knowing that, yes, they do get a lot of crap, but we do enjoy the game. We enjoy what they're doing. And we'll tell them, look, you're bringing the game in the right direction. Like, we absolutely praised the fuck out of the team in 114 when that came out. And that must have been really, really nice. But I want to hear more. Blister, what do you think about the whole situation, though? Because I know you said you didn't read the article, but I want to hear your opinion.
Well, with the development of everything, man, coming from... I started on console.
Right.
And I was, the game was at that state, but every update since then has pushed it and pushed it and pushed it, man. I think they're going in a good direction. And like y'all talk about, adding the content that was in before I ever started playing the game, I think that's great. Mm-hmm. They need to reach back and grab some of the stuff they took out and put it back in the game.
Yeah, I don't think I could be wrong, but I don't think there's a really large demand for a lot of that stuff back. Like I just realized what he was saying, that a lot of people don't even know what's gone. Like the tanning of leather, and nobody even knew there used to be tripwires and snare traps and fish. You know what I mean? So this is all new to them, because most of the players right now weren't playing in the mod.
I had a comment. Somebody was like, "Oh, bring the M249 back. It was in the old version of the game." And I was like, "It wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
It was never in the old version of the game." People don't know. You see, they think because it's in the game files, it was in the previous versions of the game and stuff. They're just not fully caught up on what was there and what actually wasn't there.
Yeah, I had the same argument about the Gorza rifle. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Somebody said that.
I have to go back and watch YouTube videos of people, like Paul or Frankie, showing that,
What did we have at launch? We had the Mosin, SKS, the M4, the FNX.
The Mosin you couldn't peek with.
Yeah.
Did we have the Sporter? Was the Sporter Amphibia? The Amphibia was
The
in.
Sporter wasn't.
Because I remember I was desperately trying to find a magazine for the Amphibia, and it was fucking rare as rockin' horse shit.
I just remember finding an M4 in every single green crate in Berezino on official servers. Like they were everywhere.
Yeah.
And Riffy had like 12 of them.
A very good comment here, and I do agree with this. Holding off on the early access launch of DayZ would have been like shutting down the fidget spinner factories in the summer of 2017. It's important to remember that Bohemia was capitalising on a phenomenon and didn't know how long it would last. So, that, as much as it sucks, they had to. And to their credit, this is one thing that we've always got to remember. For all the things that have gone wrong through the years of development, we showed the Steam charts before. DayZ is still up there. There's just something about this fucking game, regardless of everything. There's just a magic to DayZ that not many other games can capture.
It has a charm, man, that you can't duplicate. Everybody tried. Everybody,
No other game.
Every time, I mean, you've heard me say it before. Every single time there's some new DayZ killer, it's always just a flash in the pan. Dirt Matter, Dead. What was it?
Oh, Dead Matter.
We call it
Dead Side as well.
Dead Side. We call it Dead Game. Like, there's so many, man, and they're all just meme Steam games. You know what I mean? But it's not going anywhere.
I think
it says right there, Rust was inspired by Dean Hall's DayZ mod. Yeah. I mean, there's another one. That's the only one that's came even remotely close, and it's so off the wall, far fetched. I love the game, but it's different.
And that's what I like about it. And that's why Scum is coming back slowly, because it's different. Everyone we talk about this all the fucking time, and everyone wants to. There's almost like a desperation out there for someone to finally kill DayZ. DayZ will always have a player base until they shut the service down. There's no more support for the game. But even then, there's a magic to this game that especially for those of us who've been on this ride since Standalone was launched, and the real OGs who were on the mod and all the rest of it. So many people. Like I just had someone reach out to me the other day. I took a 2-year break from DayZ, but I miss it. I've been playing Escape from Tarkov, which is great, but I miss the survival aspect of DayZ, the grind. There's something about this game, and the state that it's in. All things aside, someone said it before in chat. 1.14 is one of the best builds of DayZ. Cheaters is an issue and all the rest of it, but the core of the game, fuck me, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it actually is.
I think DayZ still has more players than Arma these days, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I think
those Steam charts are just PC, right? That's not counting console.
Yes.
Just PC.
I know that sounds like a stupid question, but I said that in the video, and people keep arguing with me.
Yeah, no, that's only Steam. There are ways to see player numbers, and I imagine at the end of the year, the DayZ team will do their update and show what the player numbers are being. But yeah, it's fucking amazing. Maps based on satellite scans of Normandy is a perfect partner of DayZ in the Battlefield game we all need. What's that in relation to? Hell Let Loose. Yep. Yeah. But no, this was a fantastic article. A really good insight into the struggles that, Brian's copped a lot of shit over the years. The same as Dean. And some of it rightly. But anyone who questions this guy's commitment to DayZ, fuck you. Go fuck yourself. I got to meet the guy in 2015 at PAX Australia, and he was the nicest fucking guy, hey. He blew us away. He met with a bunch of pretty much fucking Aussie nobodies, and we met with him when he did his talk, the infamous 2015 roadmap. I was there to watch that live, so that's always a special memory for me. And then afterwards, he said, "Let's go have lunch, guys." And we were like, "What? Okay." We went to lunch with Brian Hicks. And we were blown away. Like, this guy's spending time with us. We're a bunch of fucking nobodies. But we've got a great photo of all of us sitting around a table having lunch. He offered to pay for it. We refused. We did a round table. I think in the end, Vanguard, another Aussie mate of mine who's been on the podcast, paid for the lunch for everyone. And then Brian said, so where are we meeting up for drinks tonight? And we're like, what the fuck? He wants to have drinks with us now? Oh, fuck yeah. And we had a great night with Brian Hicks, with Vigilante Gamer there. And it was so much fun. And the stories he told us, and it was just, the guy's heart was and still is in DayZ. Like they say in the article, he actually does stream on Twitch from time to time, folks, and he's been experimenting with old builds of DayZ. So, the same as we talked the other week about people need to be watching Sumrak stream. Go watch Brian Hicks stream as well. It's fascinating to watch him and listen to him talk about, not just DayZ, but, as it's known, he's now with Dean again over at Rocketworks doing Survive Icarus. And he's a fascinating guy to watch. And his heart and soul is in DayZ. I do like that they talked about Survivor games in here. God, I'm still sad about Survivor games. It will come back. I have no doubt. One day we will get there's a ghost behind you, apparently, lad.
No. There's a ghost behind me, is there?
Apparently.
Get fucked.
We should definitely reach out to Hicks again. I know he's busy with Icarus, and see if he's ever available to come on. Because if his NDA has lifted as well, he might be able to tell a few stories that he didn't get to include in the article as well, which would be pretty cool to hear. So.
Yeah, definitely. I'll send him a message and see what he says. He's only stood me up twice so far on the podcast, so not that I'm counting.
Third time lucky.
It would be good to get Hicks and Soma and Lou together, the three of them. That was my plan when I had Soma and Lou on. Brian was meant to be there, but he slept in. To get the three of them again, because they've just got such a fucking legacy of DayZ. And I love the history of the game, the history around the game. There's the history of the game, and then there's the history of everything that's happened around it. And DayZ is just... I watched a video the other day about PUBG. The Fortnite one. And in there they talk about how so many games can count DayZ as the inspiration for them. So many games came from it. Brendan Green, he talks about him in this article here. Bohemia passing up on Brendan Green has to go down as one of the biggest fails of a business of all time. They had the chance to take basically the Survivor Games model, and if they'd had Brendan Green with that, you can imagine what would have happened. But to find out they ummed and ahed at hiring the guy, didn't think he was technical enough. And then he went on to,
So hire DOJ before it's too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not technical enough.
It's almost too late.
Here it is here. There was a lot of hemming and hawing for some reason that he wasn't technical enough to bring on. Hicks says, I was like, are you kidding? He did DayZ Battle Royale. He knows our engine. Bohemia's interview process was just as drawn as it had been at the birth of DayZ. And while discussions were ongoing, Hicks got a call from Green. Hey, man, I don't know what... You should probably read this part, Archie. You do the best Irish accent in here.
Wow. Let me put on my Mark's glasses. Hang on.
Wow.
What part could you hover over it? I was thinking about Mia Khalifa. Hey there, bud. Green said, I don't know what to do. The company is offering me the creative director role in my own game. The company was Blue Hole. I think that's Mia Khalifa's company too, actually. And the game was PUBG. Wow, I didn't even know this. Hicks advised him to take the job. I can't match that. Wait, that was Hicks.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm fucking this all up. Hicks is from Kentucky. I can't match that, he replied. I ain't no way I can get Bohemia Interactive to put you in that senior of a role. You'd be stupid to pass that up. Is that pretty good?
Yep, and history is history. Brendan Green went on. What was that, Mark?
I said spot on with the accent.
Spot on.
He does have a very thick Irish accent, Brendan Green, I've noticed.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. But no, sad, very, very sad. And then what happened with Survivor Games, even finding out more about that. The plans to open a Survivor Games studio in Seattle, meanwhile, had grown complicated. Bohemia was already opening a new office in Amsterdam, and that project was taking up all the company's administrative bandwidth. When the time came to renew Hicks' residence visa in the Czech Republic, he instead rented a house in Redmond, Washington, intending to be the advance force for an army of Survivor Games developers. The great irony was that though he was back home, he never saw it. Instead, working during the night to match Czech hours, his windows covered by cardboard boxes and gaffer tape. Worse, it proved much harder to be DayZ's leader from another continent. So Hicks was going to lead Survivor Games. Could you imagine what would have happened if he'd stayed and been the lead developer for Survivor Games? We wouldn't have ended up with that abomination that got released.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but such is life, man.
It is. I think we've flogged this horse to death for a while. Let's talk about something else. Books.
I'm
out.
ChamberSenator. A few days ago, over on the DayZ subreddit, the question of why they haven't brought books back into vanilla DayZ came up. This was a fascinating article because how many of us remember getting a book and just sitting down and just starting to read it in game?
Never.
I'm not gonna lie.
Ever?
No.
I mean, for yourself, Blister. No, you never would have. When I came into the game, 0.59, I believe you could only read the first page of a book or something like that. Like
you can read the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, so I just grabbed them after a while because they absorb damage if you got shot and you had them in your jacket or whatever.
There's so many things that are missing. Yeah, we touched on it before. The speed loader for the SKS sort of segues into another one, but we've got the M16 now, which is a decent mid-tier rifle. The SKS is a fantastic mid-tier rifle, but the one thing it lacks, could you imagine only having an SKS and having a bear attack you? It's going to be more arse than class if you survive that bear. Some of these things, I really hope that they focus next year on bringing back some of these things. Like, I know there's a fascinating article, and I'll link it in the description of the video if you're watching it. I know there's legal issues, something called Project Gutenberg. So they basically, he's surmising that they had to remove it because of potential copyright stuff. But it's sad. The speed loaders for the Magnum and the SKS, catching rain in a water bottle. I remember you used to get 5% every time you held the water bottle out to catch rain when it was raining.
Licking batteries, remember that?
Yep.
Oh, wait. Sumrak told DOJ that if he got a tattoo of a 9-volt battery on him, that he would re-implement licking batteries in the game.
DOJ, got to take one for the team, brother.
I propose a GoFundMe for that tattoo.
I'll pay for it. It's just because I want to hear him be like, "Fuck, man, the tattoo needle hurts so bad, man." It was like a stabbing pain, Just him complaining about that would be worth it.
Yeah.
I mean,
does that mean then if you get like a tattoo of a bow and arrow on my back, that'll bring bows back?
No, you'll just be a 21-year-old white chick.
Yeah.
It has like a heart tip and then like doves around it.
Yeah.
But what else do you guys miss? What else? Even chat. What else are you guys missing?
Red 9. Straight up.
Yep.
That was like the Red 9 was and it has always been my favorite handgun, next to the VP70, which obviously is not a vanilla thing and never has been, never will be. But the Red 9, or rather the Mauser C96, is an absolutely the target. Yeah. It's always been an absolutely fantastic gun. I've always loved it in media. When people talk about bows, I never use them, so I can't really talk about that.
Oh my god, they were so good. They were so good. The bows were the coastal equalizer. They don't have it anymore because they just took the one hit away from shovels and sledges. You literally went up to a bush, you got a long stick, you got rope, which you could craft out of rags. Then you had to take a long stick and cut it into short sticks. You had to sharpen those sticks, and that counted as an arrow. But you could upgrade the arrows by killing a chicken and using the bones to make bone arrows and the feathers to make like feathered arrows, I guess. And then it was a one-hit kill. So you literally you couldn't move while you were drawing the bow. That was the downside. But if you caught someone going in a house, this happened to me all the time, that was geared. And so, for example, Green Mustache, right? At 3 houses that spawn. I had spawned there, and in 5 minutes, I had crafted a bow. And I hid in that old berry bush that used to be there. And this super geared guy goes running in AKM drum clip. I just waited and pulled it back and aimed it at the door. And as soon as he opened the door, I nailed him and killed him. That shit is amazing. Like me and Jesus went back and played 6-2. He put out a whole video comparing the two. Yeah. And the first thing I did was make a bow and shoot him in the leg with it. And it broke his leg. It was like so nostalgic. But honestly, the bows, that's like I play for the survival aspect, right? It's no secret. But that right there, bow, and there's a PVC bow in the game files. There's like a compound recurve bow. The recurve. There's a wooden bow. Crossbow. And I don't know why they haven't reintroduced crossbows. I guess it's the same. It would be the same, similar script anyway, because it's a bolt and the bow shoots an arrow. But yeah, that right there, and even like spray painting the fire axe. You used to could spray paint the fire axe so that when it was on your back, it wouldn't be like bright yellow. Yeah, and
even Mosins, and I think you could do some gear as well, couldn't you?
Yeah, you can do helmets, all the helmets, motorcycle helmets, the Mosin had a bipod and a hunting scope at one point too.
Yeah,
it was insanely overpowered. You could just sit above Berezino and just waste people all day. But yeah, and you could put a bottle on it so they didn't know where the shot came from. But bows, if bows came back, I'm really happy about the tripwires because I'm a troll, and seeing that come back, I was super excited. But the bows would take the cake. I wouldn't look forward to any more updates after the bows came out. I think the devs know that too.
Now, I know some people watching this or listening to it now are going to be thinking, what, a bow was a one-shot kill? That's a bit OP. But you had to make it. You had to craft it. You had to take the time. If you just went and ran and looted, you might get lucky and find a Makarov or something like that. But the Makarov's always been a piece of shit. But it rewarded the people who were into the crafting aspect of the game. Because you still had to find a knife to sharpen the sticks and things like that. So you had to get a few things come together. But it was fantastic, even just for taking out infected, because it would one-shot the infected as well. It was a great little fucking thing to get.
And it was silent. And you could get a knife by picking up rocks. You could search for rocks on the beach, the same way you dig for worms now. Which should still be a thing. Those stones should spawn on the beach. I know I say that every time I'm on this podcast, but it was so easy. You could make it all within 5 minutes of spawning, and you were ready. And then those guys with the AKMs and the ghillies on the coast weren't like king shit, because you could just hide in a bush too and kill them when they popped out. So it was amazing, man. I really missed that time in DayZ.
Zomboid area saying, I asked Sumrak like 6 months ago, why bow isn't in the game if the technology like throw physics is here? He said, like, there is no problem to add the bow to the game, but we don't have animations or the 3D animator to do it for us. That is his answer for 6 months ago. They do have an animator now. So fingers crossed. That would be, just to throwing it out there, guys, that would be like the best DayZ Christmas present fucking ever. The community would have a fucking meltdown if that came in. I would also love to see an animation for being able to craft a spear and throw a spear as well. Some really
I don't think they need to add all the bows back, but a craftable bow would suffice.
Yep.
Just something.
Well, yeah, for sure. And Sumrak said that when he was on the podcast last time, Boydie, because we asked him about it, and he said they didn't have the staff. They had that it wasn't possible now because they had the capability but not the staff.
That was interesting, actually. I just uploaded that interview with Sumrak because that was just over a year ago. And yeah, you were on it. And it was interesting right at the end of it, as I was listening to it, you asked the question about traps, I think it was, and catching chickens and things like that. And Sumrak said, we don't have any plans at this stage to add that in, but it's finally here now. Because you were talking about being able to pick up a chicken and carry it in your
thing. Yeah, I've been begging for that for years. That's why I put that sawed-off shotgun tripwire thing. People will finally pick up rubber slugs and fucking use them if you can put sawed-off shotguns on a tripwire trap. Because those rubber slugs are in every single fucking outhouse in Chinaris and Livonia, and they're basically useless. They don't kill zombies. They don't work as intended on players. It's just get rid of them.
We need a taser. We need a fucking taser.
Yeah. Agreed. I was looking at chat too. I haven't looked. I've been like, I haven't streamed on Twitch in a while, so I haven't looked. But somebody said something about the spear. They did take that out a couple patches ago, and it makes no sense because I used to make those and then lock myself in a building, and all the zombies would run to the window, and I would kill them from inside. But I mean, I don't know why they took those out. It wouldn't clutter up the CLE or anything because it was
maybe they're going to bring them. If I were to guess, they might bring them back since as like a stealth kill animation now or something like that. Or include one with it or something.
Or like throw. You could maybe throw it.
Yeah. Could work.
But yeah. Moving on. There was something I saw from a community server. And it was one of the console community servers. And they have something what's called the Red Trail Challenge. And we've talked about this a number of times that people start to get bored with DayZ. And I've always said the problem isn't DayZ, the problem is you. You need to think about other things you can do in the game because it's a blank canvas. You can do fucking anything. And what they've done on this server, it was I shared it. A server I play on has something called the Red Trail Challenge. Basically, you have to follow the whole red trail from Berezino up towards Chizzy with only the supplies you have. The animal spawns are all bears and wolves too that come in big packs, plus you can't stray off the trail to loot. So it's about knowing what you'll need. Quickest time is just over 6 hours. I thought that was fucking brilliant. Dude, that was fucking brilliant.
Like, I want to do that. I want to go try that.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing it. Get yourself all geared up and make sure you've got food and water and stuff like that and tabs, and then do this trail on a pure vanilla server and just run it. It sounds like a fucking brilliant. Cinnamon saying, the Red Trail run takes roughly a day, give or take. We tried it and all died in Starry after 2 hours in Cami. But what a fucking brilliant idea. And that's something that, Scotty, if you're still here, that is something that you guys should, with the DayZ Twitter account and on Facebook and all the rest of it. Here's an idea for something different to mix up your gameplay. Hey, take the Red Trail Challenge created by, and shout out the community that come up with it. I've got all those links if you need it. And, we'll probably see people uploading videos of it. Create a bit of hype around something that's free. You don't need to fucking add anything to the game or, anything like that. Just a little bit of hype around something that's so easy to do. You could do it on any server. Servers could track, to keep a record of, get people to upload the video of them doing it and who's got the fastest time and all the rest of it. Just something that creates a little bit of hype and doesn't cost a fucking thing.
I'm down. Whenever any of you want to do it, I'll get on with you. I don't stream anymore, but if you guys want to do it on the stream, make an event out of it, let me know.
Who remembers Ike's Hill Challenge?
I do.
I remember that. I never partook in it, but I remember it.
What a great idea that was as well.
Yeah, that was good. All of those like community, oriented, organic ideas people come up with are great. They don't require mods and stuff. That's the great thing about a sandbox game. You can make whatever you want. Yeah,
I mentioned it before. The Running Man does that challenge every now and then where he can only survive off of what infected kill him. What do you do, Blister, to mix it up?
Mix it up? Man, I just play the game, man. I don't really try a whole lot of challenges, really. Well, actually, Nash, I don't know if y'all know him, but he come out with a challenge surviving, like going to Northeast Airfield. Of course, on modded it'd be a little bit easier. And you have to get so many kills, and then you move on to like another location to get so many kills before you can move on to the next. I've tried that a couple times, failed miserably a bunch. But it some challenges like that, I've tried those some, but
does killing chickens count? Because
here's one for you, mate.
Right.
One that I did way back years ago was every time I killed someone, because yes, I used to be a bit of a PvPer. Wasn't great, but I could hold my own at the time. But you had to take their gear. Drop all your gear and take their gear.
I've seen a few people do that.
Yeah, I did that years ago. Even down to I did variations of it. Even playing PUBG, whenever I killed a player in PUBG, I would have to take whatever weapons they had. So you never knew what you were going to get, and something to mix it up. What about you guys in chat? What have you done to mix things up? Give us some ideas. What was that, Archie?
I do that in real life. I kill the people and then take their stuff and wear it.
Yeah, did he set himself a challenge there a couple of years back where he was crossing off each weapon and having to get a kill with of somebody with every weapon in the game.
Wait, remember the compass thing he was on where he was trying to get that fucking point compass?
And he never got one.
So long. He never got it. Yeah, that was great. I remember when I found it and was like, holy shit, I'm not even going to say it.
I found it as well during him trying to find the orienteering compass that you got from the boxes of even that was such a great little thing. Little Easter eggs like that, just give you. Yeah,
they used to only spawn. If you don't know, they used to only spawn in the Crunchy Crisp cereal boxes or whatever.
Like a 1 in 100 chance or something of getting one.
Yeah, but you had to eat all the cereal to get it, and it was the orienteering compasses that are in the game now. They didn't just spawn the plastic ones.
It just came up as a little message, so you could miss it if you weren't paying attention. You have won a prize.
They should do that again.
What was the message? What did the message say?
It's like you didn't find anything, or you have received a gift, or you have found a gift in the cereal box. I don't remember. I could probably find screenshots of it, but I remember when the first time I found it, we killed a guy in Novaya Petrovka, and he had it, and I felt really bad. And that's not normal for me. So I was like, shit, man, this guy had the orienteering compass, and we killed him. And then the second one I found in a box of cereal, I had just spawned, and that's the one I actually found in the box.
Yep.
And I remember my wife was like, "What the fuck are you screaming about?" And I was like, "You just don't get it, man."
You don't understand me. You don't understand the struggle I've been through.
Vodka's saying there, I like the idea of surviving on Skillisty Island for a certain amount of hours. Someone did a YouTube video of it a while back, and it intrigued me. There's just so many different things you can do, Marks, to spice it up, to mix it up.
Yeah, there is. I actually like the idea of the getting killed with every weapon in the game. I might actually do that one on stream and make a video out of it. Yeah, a long one. It'd take a while too, but it'd be cool.
The red trail's cool because I run that trail on the game. That's the one that goes up around by VMC and all that, right?
Not sure. I've got to get a map and look at it.
That's the one we usually run, and we almost always die near VMC because
always someone at VMC.
They're always up on that hill. Everybody's got a different name for it above VMC.
Mm-hmm.
They always snipe.
Now, great ideas. Some really, really cool ideas there for people to just spice the game up a bit and keep it interesting. And what else have we got? Weapon balancing we've already addressed. This one's a bit of content creator stuff, but streaming survey. Could YouTube gaming challenge Twitch on the video game live streaming wars? Well, yeah, I don't think we can't not address the Twitch hack that happened this week. Twitch is just scoring so many fucking own goals at the moment.
Keep taking those L's.
Yeah.
Which is awful.
Fuck them. Fuck. I know you're on it right now, but their whole thing is set up to be this kingmaker software, and everybody cheats. So the guys at the bottom don't get any growth. I know I'm like famous for bitching about it, but it's been the same way for years, and it makes people. It already gives you like, and as someone who actually has been diagnosed with shit, I feel like I can speak on this. It does fuck with your mental health when you're streaming every day and you get no growth, and you're like, what are they doing that I'm not? You know, it makes you feel like you're not, I guess, invalidated maybe, or like you're just not good enough, you know, because you take somebody like me. I wasn't even streaming a lot of hours. I was doing like 4 to 6 a day, but that was after working full time. You come home, you dive into this, and then you don't get any recognition for it. Basically, you're getting the same and you're very grateful for those same 7 to 10 viewers, and then these other boring ass streamers are getting all the views, and you're like, what is the deal? And then they're cheating, you know. That's just, that whole system needs to go, and it's not there on YouTube, you know. And that's why everybody's so mad about this. You can bump up your favorite streamer by paying to have them go up in the rankings thing.
Yes.
I don't have a problem with that. It's always been pay to win. I don't care what anybody says. Twitch has always been pay to win. They're not banning people for view botting. They haven't been. They can't. They won't. They don't. That's a lie. That's a myth. You don't know people who've been banned for view botting. It doesn't fucking happen. Twitch needs the fake views.
You can't even report it.
You can't. Twitch needs those fake views so that they can get paid by their advertisers. Like, I've always said that. And Boydie, I know I've talked your fucking ear off about it, bro.
No.
But people act like I'm just a crazy, covetous hater, and I'm not. It's just, I saw it, I had a hunch, and then I found proof, and then I just went to a few friends like, hey, am I crazy, or is this happening? And they all said, yes, it's happening. And everybody, it was like the Emperor's New Clothes, that story. Everybody thought it, no one said it, you know? So...
Another thing they need to fix is their gifted subs thing. You go into a channel on Twitch for less than 20 seconds and log out of it again, never look at it again, or never go into that channel again, and you will randomly get a gifted sub to that channel in one of those days. It's like, maybe I go into a channel and I don't necessarily want to support that channel for whatever reason. I want to maybe support a different channel, but now I'm automatically supporting that channel now because somebody decided to gift me a sub to that channel, which I didn't want to sub to, if that makes sense. And that way, it's like, it's very annoying. It happens to me a load of times. It's just like, I don't like that way. It's kind of, it's a cheap way of making money. It's a cheap way of getting subscribers. If I were to,
I'm still subbed to like 12 streamers, and I never get on Twitch because of gifted subs.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I think YouTube's algorithms are better for discoverability. So those the next big time DayZ content creators are going to be discovered instead of being, you know, people literally standing on their head and pushing them down because they're not paying to win. And it's not that they don't have the money. You know, I make good money in the military and off YouTube. I could reinvest that into botted followers, botted viewers. I don't want to. To me, that's shameful. And it's not, you don't get any kind of satisfaction from that non-organic growth, you know? So I don't know. It's just really disheartening to see people like Don Sibley, who puts so much effort into his stream. And the reason I'm not saying Lad is because I've not seen Lad stream yet, but Don is the one that always comes to mind. He goes all out. His production quality is great. His jokes are on point. He's a likable guy. He's charismatic. And then, you know, he does not get anywhere near the recognition he deserves because he's not discovered because the people who are lame as fuck and have to cheat are sitting in the top row. And studies show that no one looks at anybody past the second row. Right. It's all the first two rows. So if you're below that,
not nobody. Tier, I know I do. I quite often
do.
Most don't. Most don't.
But for the vast majority, they don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
because they think, oh, these people have already been filtered out. All the good ones are on top, right? That's how anything works. It's based on percentages. So, if you could just go pay, I showed somebody recently the whole system, and then I showed him on Social Blade a certain person's stream and how you could see when that person bought 1,000 followers and bought 1,000 followers and then bought another 1,000 followers, and here they bought 10,000 channel views because you don't go from getting 400 channel views a week to 10,000 suddenly. You know, you can look right in the Social Blade. You don't have to pay for it. It's a free program or a free website. And I was like, this is how they do it. Look, it's insane how fucking cheap this is. You know, you can buy a subscription for $20 or $100. If you bought 500 viewers and it cost you $100 and you get that for a whole month, you're going to make that 500 back in 2 streams, you know? And I know I don't mean to get off the topic. I'm just saying, I think Twitch deserves everything they're getting. And people are already jumping ship for YouTube. You know, so
I will say that's. I mean, I think we touched on it before we started, but even I'm like contemplating on just canceling my affiliate and jumping to YouTube because how would I say it? It's like you trust a company like Twitch to keep your details safe, And I'm not even going to talk about the whole like viewbotting situation. I'm just talking about just security. Now when you become affiliate, as some people will know, you have to give out your tax information. You have to give out a lot of personal information that they have a duty to keep safe. The fact that Twitch's entire source code, all their payouts from 2019, all their like Git updates and shit like that from when Twitch started to now is like an absolute lack of care for their users and for themselves. So it's like, do I really want my details? Do I really want my time to be spent on this platform who doesn't even care to keep all of their records safe? And the answer is no, obviously. But I also don't want to move away from Twitch because that's where my community is. Like all my viewers, all my hardcore viewers are going to be watching me on Twitch, and I make everything around Twitch. And DayZ follows me on Twitch, which I kind of didn't expect that to happen. So there is that, but it's like YouTube is becoming more and more appealing, especially after this week. And I do want to look into it a little bit more before I make that jump, because it's not only people in the DayZ community that support me, it's other communities as well who come in, hosts, gift subs and stuff like that, and obviously normal subs. So I kind of don't want to miss out on that, but at the same time it's like, look, I need to think about, as myself, obviously I need to think about some guy out there, probably, I don't know how much was leaked, but some guy out there probably has all of my fucking information, because Amazon and Twitch didn't care. Like, their security must have been that fucking shit if some random person got their source code. That's like the one thing that people just aren't, like, they just cannot fucking do.
So, just to counter-argue this, there is always a possibility that the same thing could happen with YouTube and other streaming platforms out there as well.
Yep.
You never know with the internet, right? A server could go down, suddenly everything gets leaked. You know, it may happen, may not happen, who knows. But as well, what you were saying there about the missing out on subs and gifted subs and channel points and stuff like that. Yes, that is a big reason not to, or to, maybe not go to YouTube. But one of the good things with YouTube is when you get partnered on YouTube, when you hit that 1,000 sub goal mark, that 4,000 watch hours, you can then get, what do they call YouTube members, isn't it? Yeah. And you can set that up. And with YouTube members, where on Twitch, when you set up your thing, you have to sub and it has to be $4.99. On Twitch, I think you can go as low as 99 cents a month. You can like, or not on Twitch, sorry, on YouTube. YouTube, I mean. Yeah. You can set that up and you can choose yourself what amount you want somebody to pay for your stuff if you want to, which is, I thought it was a very, very good idea. And yes, it's a bit of a grind.
Only take 30% of
that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, whereas Twitch takes 50%. Twitch has this almost pokey machine mentality. It sucks people in with all the bells and the whistles and the shiny sub badges and the 3-month subscriber, the 6-month subscriber, the 9-month subscriber, the 12-month, 24-month, and then you've got the bits and the bits unique emotes and all the rest of it. It feeds into that primal little, that little hit of dopamine that you get from doing something nice for someone. But Twitch is taking 50% of everything. And when it comes to subs, as so many people, I watched Moist Critical did a video, and he said, you can work out what we're earning. Just multiply the amount of subs we have, which is public info. You can find it if you search hard enough. A lot of streamers, the Running Man has his subtotal on the screen. Smoke doesn't. Mm-hmm. Smoke has a completely blank screen, but you can still roughly work it out. And then you just multiply it by 2.5. And that's how much they're making from just their subscribers. I've got no issue with these people making bank from streaming, by the way. They're entertainers at the end of the day.
They got to get paid. Like there's nothing wrong with making money
if they're doing it fair.
But Twitch is fucking the amount of own goals they've had. I saw Amaranth got banned again. It's a 5th ban or something now. The hot tub meta. There's so many things that they're at a critical moment right now. They really need to do something good. They really, really need to do something good because there's so much negativity around this platform. Everyone's getting sick of it. Everyone's just getting sick of the shit. And this basically having a download everything button on the front page of Twitch, and I still don't know everything they've got. Have they got my address? Has someone now got potentially access to my address? How secure was that? I know people are saying...
Yeah, they do have your address. Yeah, because I heard Nick Merckx was talking about it on stream. He was like, the address got leaked. We're probably going to get a couple of pizzas sent to the house this week. He made a joke about it, something like that. And it was like, they could send a SWAT team to your house. You get swatted, especially in America. Anyway, I know that used to be a big thing with streamers. So, anything can happen, that way.
And Twitch's handling of it has been pretty pathetic as well. Their official messages have just been very, we're investigating, we're looking into it, and just to be safe, nearly everyone with half a brain cell had already gone in and changed their passwords and reset their stream keys and things like that. My son came to me within minutes of it going up on 4chan saying, "Dad, you need to be aware of this." I was like, okay, guess I'm jumping on the computer, changing some passwords and shit. And I shared it with everyone that I knew. I sent it to the running man. He was actually not home at the time. I sent it to him via a DM on Twitter. And he said, thanks, But I feel for these guys. I'm quite public with how much I make. That's my choice. Mm-hmm. The fact that all these people have now had their earnings. And one thing that surprised me was, we talked about it before, you mentioned the Kingmaker system, Archie. Unless you're in that top 1,000 people, most of the people who are grinding on Twitch, and I know some people don't like that word, but they're barely making minimum wage.
It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. And I know they just now started talking about the whole mental health thing with streaming. Yeah. But I mean, and I'm not trying to say I told you so or whatever, but the shit fucks with you. It's not worth the lack of time you get to spend with your family, the lack of social time you get outside of. It's not worth the fucking health. I gained 30, and I heard Lax talking about that when he left too, how he gained all this weight. I gained 30 pounds in 4 months because I was just streaming and I'm 5'7", dude. I do not wear weight well, So I got back problems now. I have spondylitis from sitting in a fucking computer chair so much, and this is a top of the line computer chair. It's not worth the shit money you make. You have to supplement that income with YouTube, which is why I think people should just fucking stick to YouTube. And Twitch is going to become, first of all, Twitch is dying. That's why the adpocalypse thing is happening. Half the viewers on Twitch are bots anyway.
What was that, Blister?
Everybody uses YouTube, regardless of whether you're putting content on there or you're just watching content. Everybody watches YouTube.
YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, second only to Google.
And when you Google almost anything, and what comes up? A link to a YouTube video about it right at the top as well.
Right. Yeah. And the other thing is, Twitch, not only is it dying and they're doing the adpocalypse, arm filling, trying to make money before the ship sinks, also, Twitch is going completely away from gaming and onto this other crazy. It's basically softcore OnlyFans. OnlyFans, because it gets around all the parent block proxies. Kids can watch it at school on the computers. Kids can watch it on their phones. My son can watch Amaranth twerk on Twitch, whatever, and it won't. The parent block won't detect it. There's plenty of reasons why 75% of Twitch viewers are between 13 and 19, and they're watching female streamers, and it's going completely away from gaming, and YouTube gaming is based solely on gaming. And so the last thing I'll say is, if you have a Twitch channel, the way you're going to advertise it the right way, without cheating or botting or whatever, is you're going to make a YouTube video, right? And you're going to put your stream stuff or whatever. You're going to plug your Twitch channel into your YouTube channel constantly. That's how you advertise on Twitch or for your Twitch channel. Then if somebody sees that, they have to say they're on mobile, because let's be honest, that's what everybody uses. They're going to have to go download the Twitch app, make an email, then open their email app, verify the email, reopen Twitch, then find you after they create an account, and then open up your stream and watch it if you're live, you know, or say they already have an account, just subtract one step from that. It's way too many steps, you know, when you could just have everything on YouTube gaming in the first place. And they have bits and shit like that. It's called thanks and super chats. And they have all the same things, and they only
I think
30%.
They're bringing in, what I've heard, it's only rumor, but apparently they're bringing in some like gifted member type thing soon as well. I know I was just talking shit about gifted subs, so it'll be interesting to see how they do it, but they're doing something like that as well. And another great thing with YouTube gaming and just YouTube in general, there's so a person called Fwiz, if you look him up on Twitter, he is the head of YouTube gaming, and he is, so you can follow him on Twitter, and anytime they're pushing a new update or they're working on a new YouTube thing that they're implementing, he'll share screenshots of it and be like, this is what we're doing. We're testing it in these certain countries at the moment. Leave us know your feedback and all this. Yeah. And like, you can even DM him sometimes, or even like if a problem happens, I've seen YouTubers go to him and go, hey, Fwiz, this video got demonetized for whatever reason, and the auto bot isn't doing anything, and he'll be like, send me a DM on Twitter, and we'll check it out. The team will get straight onto it and stuff like that. And I think YouTube broke like the same day Facebook went down, and they were tweeting about it, and Fwiz was in the comments. He was like, yeah, we're on it straight away. He was at home and everything, and he was like, yeah, the team are on it straight away. We'll be looking into it ASAP. Hopefully we can get it all back and working. And it's just like, it's great communication there between them, whereas I don't think you get that on Twitch. Like, it's very human to human interaction, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
I never heard.
What I will say is that when I was looking into the whole Twitch situation as it was going down, when all the news outlets, they were coming out with it, Twitch made no statement. It took them hours to even acknowledge it publicly, and it was literally just we're investigating it. And that was it. And then a few hours later, they done the normal corporate speak. Oh, it's a safety precaution. We've done this, which 95% of people have already fucking done at that point. And when it comes to the stream keys, yes, obviously you're going to reset your stream keys. And then, you know, the hacker was releasing more info and telling people what they released, and Twitch was just like, oh, well, we don't know what was actually released, but we'll let you know. And as far as I'm aware, I mean, people can correct me if I'm wrong, they still haven't said exactly what was released. And it's like, you know, and with going to YouTube, you know what you guys were saying about YouTube and creating your content around YouTube. I like to shit on YouTube Shorts, but when you're creating content on YouTube, and especially if you're going to start streaming on YouTube, creating Shorts is a really, really good fucking way to get people towards your channel. So it's like, and if you stream for like God knows how many hours a day, like 3, 4, maybe 5 hours a day, and you've got some good interactions, that's some good shorts right there. And that's like more stuff to get in for your channel. And as you were saying, Archie, you know, there's so many steps, you know, if you're coming from YouTube and if you want to watch someone on Twitch, and it's like, people like things in one area. Yep. It's like, kind of getting sidetracked. It's why people were fucking flipping their shit when Epic Games Launcher came out, when the GOG Galaxy came out, and everything like that, and Rockstar Launcher came out, because people was like, just fucking keep to Steam, because Steam's
I don't want
like
7 launchers.
Yeah, right.
Like, well, what's the point in having like a whole bunch of separate launches, you know? And it's but at least with GOG, it gives you the option to connect all your accounts into one, to keep all your games into one list. I don't use it personally because I only use Steam mainly. But I imagine if you're somebody who uses a bunch of different launchers, that would be very, very useful. But going back to the topic at hand, Twitch is going to die. Twitch is barely profitable for Amazon for like anywhere, and YouTube runs at a loss for Google. But at the same time, YouTube is still extremely popular. It has shown no signs of dying ever, at least as far as I'm aware.
No.
With Twitch, as you've seen, it is in certain areas it's turning into a softcore OnlyFans, which is a shame. And you know, when you have your age limit of 13 is the youngest you can be to have an account on Twitch. Something like that, I believe. 13.
12 or 13 is something like that, yeah. It's around that age.
It's like, Yes, and streamers have the option to keep their streams age limited, but they won't because that's how they get their money
and their views.
Yeah.
Views.
And all the kids got to do is click watch anyway.
And
if we were 13, we know who we'd be watching on Twitch. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. And there's different things on YouTube. Like, so they have two sections to YouTube Gaming. They have YouTube Gaming, and then they have YouTube Kids, which is just dedicated to kids. So that family-friendly content, like those Minecraft videos and stuff, parents can set it up so they only get that and not the other stuff as well. And the other thing YouTube does as well, it rewards you. So the cleaner your videos are, like language-wise, for example, the more money you're going to make on ads. And I keep bringing this up because it happened to me recently where they sent me an email and they were like, because my content was so, family friendly in a way, because I try to keep curse words out as much as possible. They were like, advertisers are paying more in your videos because, of that. You keep it up the good work is what they said. And I was like, oh, that's really good. So it kind of motivates you then this way as well, in a way. Whereas I don't think Twitch does that. They don't really care about language or stuff like that.
Twitch doesn't care about anybody but making money.
Yeah.
Honestly, they care about who they care about, and I don't want to go there too long, but the people who don't get banned for any time for the same things that would get us banned for 3 weeks, that's who they care about. I mean, they kicked one of their biggest streamers off and never even said why,
Yeah,
literally the guy who brought most people to Twitch.
It's to a point when you literally have to beg Twitch to ban you because you made a mistake. No, obviously not yourself. But I remember, and I will say names just for this example, when an Alinity got in really fucking bad trouble with Twitch, and people were crying out, "Why the hell is Twitch not banned? Why has she not been suspended?" Everything like that. And even Alinity got in that bag and was like, "Yeah, I made a mistake. Why the hell have I not been banned?" And then she got suspended for like a week or two or something like that, and she was back. And then you get people like Amaranth who really. They really skirt around the rules of Twitch, and they get constantly banned, but they get constantly brought back because I'm nearly certain she was in the top 5 of biggest earners on Twitter.
Yeah, she was.
She was in top 5 or top 10. So it was
the other thing is more men were banned. This is a fact. Trainwreck did a thing about it. I think it was him. More male streamers were banned for complaining about Alinity not being banned. Then, like, she didn't get banned, right? And all these guys got banned for sexism because they were complaining about it. If it was a guy, and bam, they're gone. That's when I started seeing, like, holy shit, dude, she threw her cat.
Yeah.
And I will say, and it's like, fuck's sake. And I will say, like, with how YouTube does their stuff, with the YouTube Kids, the YouTube Gaming, the YouTube, I think YouTube Red, is that still a thing?
Premium, I think it's called now.
Yeah, they call it Premium. I'm not surprised. But
I think Pornhub has a Red.
Yeah.
I think so.
But the fact is that they have all of these stuff separated for their right audiences and not in just one hub is a really, really great way to do it. Because, if you're a parent and you're really worried about what your kid is watching, YouTube Kids is a really good way to do it. And the people there, they have really good tools to make sure that their content is family friendly, not only for the advertisers but for their audiences. Generally, YouTube, no one gives a shit. You can post whatever you want. But YouTube Gaming, especially, I mean, this is coming from somebody who has literally not that much information about it, but YouTube Gaming, the fact is that they give you the tools again to make sure that your videos comply with their rules, their regulations, their TOS, and to make sure that you're producing the correct content, the correct type of content, and you get advised on the best ways and what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong, depending on whatever. Like Marx, you said, like they approached you and said you've got paid more because of X, Y, and Z. That's really great. With Twitch, you don't fucking know. And it's like...
And when you even upload a video to YouTube nowadays, you have to say whether it's for kids or not for kids. So then, it won't show.
It's not for kids. You have to declare exactly why it's not for kids, and and stuff like that. So it's like, if you really care about your content and for a fact it's not for kids, there's no harm in saying it's not for kids, and then you can go into depth of why it's not about kids. And it's like that's really, really nice. With Twitch,
Diversify, folks. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you're stuck with the one platform, if you're only streaming on Twitch, that's all the exposure you're going to get. You need to be doing your social medias. Multi-streaming has been one of the best things for me. I don't get much engagement from Facebook, but I still do it. I get the occasional comment here and there, but so if Twitch shuts down, I'm already established on YouTube. That's the biggest thing I can say, especially to the Twitch streamers out there, is whether you just upload your VODs after the 24-hour exclusive period, or shorts, to start doing shorts. They're all the rage at the moment. I just did a YouTube training course, and they're pumping money into YouTube Shorts. Make sure you do them in the portrait style as well. Doing them landscape doesn't quite trigger the algorithm for you. But even with the YouTubers for DayZ who are doing the shorter videos, the 1 to 2 minute ones, seeing great success. Their channels are probably all monetized now, and they're making a bit of extra cash just from uploading clips with no fancy intro or something like that. Diversify, start looking at options. Twitch is at a critical point right now, and it could go either way.
And that's another thing that I need to mention. You go into some streams, I won't name names because I can't even think of any, but you go into some streams and they have all these big crazy overlays and all this shit on screen and all that. And so you don't need it. If like I stream and I have no overlays, I just have at a time someone subscribes or donates something, it pops up, notification, and that's it. You don't need to be crazy with all your overlays and fancy this and fancy that. Just as long as you have a good quality stream, good quality microphone, and you're kind of your head screwed on in the way, you're not being racist or rude or anything like that, you'll do fine, and I think people Wait, do you do that?
No, I'm kidding. But I did have the crazy stream overlays. I put way too much effort because I'm a graphic designer. I put way too much effort into doing all that shit. I know Boydie used to come in my stream all the time, and I had all the overlays, and I had like crazy shit, animations, all this stuff, and I got just as many views the days that I didn't have that shit turned on, and the days I had my webcam turned off. They're there for you, not the fucking song and dance.
And I just want to say, YouTube is not perfect. YouTube has its own issues as well. Like Moonshine's just mentioned there's a classic example of one of the problems with YouTube that you've got to be aware of. YouTube had a friend that uploaded a video of him and his brother drinking beer. YouTube approved the video. They then a year later got a ban from that video because it was reported for drinking, and it was 6 beers. YouTube does this really weird thing where there's been channels that have been banned for content they uploaded years ago that wasn't against the terms. So they're
wasn't against
now. But
it's more
they loaded it,
yeah. It's more than likely it wasn't against the terms back then, and sometimes the terms YouTube's updates the policies every month, so sometimes you need to go back in and like if it's say they have brought in that option, I think it was only a year or two ago, where you had to make sure it was for kids or not for kids. You have to make sure all that shit is changed and all that, because otherwise they can shut it down because it can be in the wrong categories and stuff.
But that's bullshit. That's a cunt of a thing to do, Marks. You're banning someone because they're not. Maybe they had a busy day. Maybe they just forgot all about that video existed. Then some wanker goes and finds this video that is now against the terms and conditions, and they banned the channel because of that video. That was fine back then. No, that's a prick of a thing to do. They should remove the video. Maybe at the most issue a warning, but to ban someone for it.
I think they usually do issue. I think they usually do issue warnings beforehand.
There's no way there's going to ban you for one video. There's no way.
No.
I mean, unless you go on there and you're like naked or you.
No, there's been channels that have had multiple strikes issued for multiple videos that are now against the terms, and then their channel is banned.
Right.
It's true. Yeah, it's true.
They have a crawler that does all that, and none of them are pub. I agree with what you're saying, but that's not a person reporting it or a person, going back and checking out his videos. They have a crawler that checks for things, and now that they have the closed captioning, it can read the closed captioning, the script from your video, and if there's anything that's against TOS, it automatically removes the video. And you can go to YouTube and say, hey, this is a misunderstanding, and most of the time in my experience, they'll reverse it. It's happened to like 3 of my videos. I've had 3 strikes, and all 3 of them been removed except for the high ping video that actually stayed taken down because it got brigade reported for xenophobia, which I had to Google. So,
oh Lord,
I will say that with how YouTube does their process, it's like with the copyright. They won't mute the video. They'll take the revenue from that video and give it to the copyright holders, which it sucks, but it's fair enough. At least your content can still be out there.
I had that happen to me yesterday.
I hate that fucking copyright system on YouTube. It's fucking
sucks,
bullshit.
Yeah, it is
this
shit.
This is a great time to plug epidemicsound.com. For $14.99 a month, you can use all the royalty-free music you'd like, and you won't get copy struck.
I mean, yeah. But, I mean, if you use content, any kind of content that you don't have the rights to, you have to expect for that video to get either restricted ads, no ads, or removed. It's like when I uploaded my new stream intro, the music is obviously from Grand Theft Auto 4, and me and Archie, we had a slight discussion about it last night. I expected that video not even to be published at all, and there was no issues. There was no copyright issues. So it was like, oh, fucking great. That's fantastic. But I can imagine somebody who spends, hours and days on a video and they might use something and it's like, that's a bit shit. I will say, though, the one shit part about it is how your entire video can get claimed for 3 seconds of copyright stuff. That is shit. I will admit that. And
they give you an option, though, because I had this happen to me just yesterday. I got an email saying a video being down. It was an old video, it had like 200 views on it or something, so I didn't really care. But you can go in and you can, so it was like at the intro of my video, and you can go in and you can, no, not even mute it, you can just go in, trim it, and it'll cut that entire copyright segment out of the video completely.
There's a beta option where you can mute it. I've had to do that a few times, with the nature of what we do on the show. Sometimes watching videos, someone has copyright music. I upload it. So there's a few tricks. But the fact that, especially for the podcast, a 3-4 hour video, and 1 minute of a song playing in the background, and the whole thing gets copyright claimed, and the revenue would go to. So I've got to wait and either redo the video or use the. They've got some good tools, and that is one of the things they're better at. Is they've got better tools for managing. Like you think back to Twitch with the whole DMCA issue, and the only solution they had was for everyone to delete their entire history of VODs.
And that's stupid. That's ridiculous. Like you shouldn't be having to do that. You should already have something with the copyright holders, with the music organizations and that, to set up some kind of deal like what is going on with YouTube. Yes, it's not a very good deal, but at the same time, you kind of like, it's the reality of it. And until a better system can be produced by those in charge or by the wider community who can propose these changes, with enough vocal attention and whatnot, that change will happen. But with Twitch, it's like, if you're watching a VOD and somebody's using a copyrighted music, it's fucking shit when you're watching back a VOD and then like 20 minutes of it's completely muted.
Yes,
it's like, that shouldn't. It's.
Well, I kept having the issue of people stream stalking me, playing like Beyonce songs, and then my stream would go down.
That happened to me as well, yeah.
They would intentionally, because and it's not just random stream snipers. It's there's an agenda behind it, but whatever. And then I was going to say also about YouTube, I went back and watched a bunch of the old Frankie on PC videos.
All muted.
Half the fucking videos are muted.
Yeah,
there's like a little 10-second track, and they'll mute 3 minutes of it just to be safe. And you're just like, they ruined all of that content. It's all just ruined now.
Yeah, it's unwatchable. So he did say back in the day he bought a license. So I'm guessing he only bought like a 5-year license for that music or something, and it just clearly ran out. And so then YouTube just mutes it. So
which is, if you don't keep payments, like you kind of expect that kind of thing to happen. And it's
it makes total sense. Like, you could just probably buy.
A lot of them are if it's there at the time of upload. If you're subscribed at the time of upload, and they'll have that. I just think the whole thing about they went away from muting the video, right? Twitch still does it. YouTube went away from it. Now YouTube lets the audio stand, and they just pay the person who owns the copyright, like you were saying.
Yeah.
So I wish that were a thing when they decided to mute half of Frankie's videos, because those were fucking legendary and nostalgic for me too, because that's what I came up on.
Wait, speaking of Frankie, isn't he meant to be back in 3 days?
Oh, shut up! He's not coming back.
Oh, so October, right?
No, he's.
I know. I'm not on that hype train either, but it's on his Twitter. So
back.
I thought it was April 1st.
I could be wrong.
But I mean, we've spoke a lot about Twitch and YouTube today. It's
back in 3 days. Like, he just updated his thing. Sorry, lad. Back in 3 days.
But we've talked a lot about the topic, and we'll all have different opinions about it. And I will say though that with the multi-stream, the YouTube stream today has been doing really well. So I want to thank everybody on that side. Thank you very much for watching, donating, and subscribing. Absolutely fantastic. Same with people on Twitch.
Twitch side was pretty slow. Gotta say, it was pretty slow. No, I'm kidding.
Lift your game, Twitch. Lift your game.
But yeah, so I mean, there's been a lot of really cool things that we have talked about today. That's for sure. Well, tonight I should say. A lot of really cool, interesting aspects.
Well, we've still got more. We've got a very cool thread from our ChamberSenator.
I know.
So he was responding to a comment by Blisterbizkit in the Discord. Let me just switch the screen. So if you instantly die with no gunshot or explosion of any kind walking through the woods, was that likely a hacker? Or could someone have just shot me and I didn't hear the gunfire? I said, what server, mate? Public, probably a hacker. Good community. You probably got headshot. Then ChamberSenator came in. Now, while one can never be 100% sure unless an admin checks the logs that a sudden instant death is due to a hacker, a well-aimed long-distance suppressed shot or due to desync or bug that causes the game to not even play the thunk sound when the bullet hits, or desync that causes you to be in a slightly different spot for someone else than where you are, context is everything. Getting killed by hackers does happen. No argument there. However, you would likely be amazed at how frequent it is for players to get ridiculously close to each other and neither being aware of the other, or how often players have no idea they are being trailed or stalked by someone else, even in the most remote areas of the map. Not to mention the times one player is in the middle of nowhere thinking they are alone and sorting their gear, only to suddenly see some dude running through the woods out of the corner of their eyes and quickly get the drop on them. If a dev just blatantly screams hacker or scripter, don't hesitate to report it to the admins whenever possible. The few minutes you spend reporting it not only helps you, but the admins wanting to keep hackers or scripters off their server and protect their reputation, as well as everybody else who plays on the server. Don't just leave it to someone else to report it when they die. That's the kind of thinking hackers and scripters want. If it's only a bit suspicious, note the exact time and location. If it happens again a short time after on the same server, put both times in the report. A link between the two can make all the difference. It was a very well explained response.
Those devil's advocate speeches, I'm getting feedback. Is that mine?
It might be. You might need to mute your the share screen, like turn the audio down on that. Sometimes it can echo from Buddy, like Buddy has his desktop audio on and it can echo.
Let's see. Is that better?
That's
better. That's weird.
Yeah.
I didn't even turn it on. Those devil's advocate arguments are why people, those are what made me not even want to post the video about the problem in the first place, because there were so many comments in there. Oh, just because you died, just because someone's better than you doesn't mean they're a hacker,
Yeah, I had so many of them as well.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I'm not even, none of this footage is mine. This is all footage that was sent to me, that was sent to devs that resulted in bans. Like Fraggle Rock sent me some, which is blatantly a hacker. The guy's skipping around everywhere. And somebody was like, maybe it's desync. I'm like, are you just one of those people whose personality insists that you contradict everything? But I don't know, man. I agree with him, sure, but I think people are smart enough to know when they got got or when they got killed by a cheater.
Now, ChamberSenator goes on, though, and I want to continue it. High-pop public servers do have a significantly higher risk of hacker shenanigans than on community servers, of course. It can still be reported to the official bug tracker, even though you may not get a direct response. At the very least, the info about the time and server will help BI detect and address new hacks or scripts by flagging the specific server and time for investigation. While there's nothing much that players can do other than reporting possible hacks, there are things to keep in mind to help prevent being unexpectedly given a one-way ticket back to the coast. Death can happen at any time from any direction in DayZ, but constant vigilance is exhausting. Your brain can sometimes work against you simply from the results of millions of years of evolution. Humans have a natural tendency to relax their guard a bit in certain situations and not even realise it. For example, you're running across a wide open field towards the safety of a nearby forest. All the while, you're looking all around you, hoping you're not caught out in the open. You get to the tree line and hide by a tree to catch your breath. You move into the forest. You ever so slowly, you become a little bit less vigilant bit by bit. Your brain has been wired over hundreds of thousands of years or more to see forests are safer than open grasslands. The trees surrounding you are protection, the brain says, so you relax. So maybe you check behind you a little less often than you should be. After a while, you're barely checking behind you at all. Your brain is focused on where you are going and not getting lost, not what's behind you. That old wiring in your brain can let you down in towns and villages too. Let's say you've wisely taken a few minutes to scope out the town from a distance before you enter. Sometimes quiet, seems quiet enough. So you approach cautiously, avoid aggroing the nearby Zeds, and start to scavenge the buildings for loot. First danger passed, but it's the next one that can get you a few minutes later. You are trying to loot the buildings reasonably fast and keeping an eye out for nearby Zeds. Your ears should still do a good job detecting a nearby player who hasn't seen you yet, but your eyes, they have enough to do as it is, and not leaving much to actively check for that possible sniper on the roof or in the upstairs window ahead. Not only that, but every doorway you pass through sort of partially resets the way your brain processes where it is and what it is doing. Ever go into a room and forget why you were there? Why you went there? This is usually why. Now think about all the times that happens when you are looting a town, and by the time you're halfway through, you are considerably less aware of your surroundings beyond the obvious danger spots and keeping track of the wandering Zeds around you. So what to do when your own brain is suddenly working against you? Best advice I have is to remember to stop every now and then during those times I describe above. Stop and find cover and take a moment to check all around you and refocus your brain. Listen, wait, move on. That's 20 seconds you spent checking around you, and resetting your vigilance might save your life. I just responded with that is quite literally one of the best threads ever. He really summed up the psychology of DayZ and how, yes, hackers are a genuine issue, but we can all agree there are so many people who scream hacker the moment that they get shot unexpectedly.
I think you always want to blame the fault with someone else other than yourself, and everyone's guilty of that. I've done it. I mean, when you're streaming and you get got out of nowhere and you're like, fucking stream sniper, there's no way anybody knew I was up there. You know? And then you don't realize that that building over there has a vantage point right on top of that tree you're hiding on. That's where the guy was. Also, it's not just those instant deaths. It's the biggest thing for me is the people stealing the buried stashes. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. That's another huge thing people are complaining about in the comments on the video. People finding hidden bases in the woods, or those new, they're not new now, they're a year old, those shelters that are really well hidden in the woods. Like they're just griefing and shit. I just wanted to clarify that I'm not just talking about dying in PvP. I'm talking about when you bury your stash of loot of, your entire dry sack of nails that took you 2 days to get underneath the bush. And then when the server resets, the bush pops back up. So there's no way they see the hole. And then suddenly it's gone when you log back on because somebody ESP'd it, Yeah,
I watched like Dyson says there, BI needs to reduce the range at which the client knows about stashes. That's apparently quite an easy, I say easy, not knowing anything about game development, but more back on what ChamberSenator was talking about. That's stuff that people need to be aware of. More often than not, your own death is, or your death is your own fault. Because you do. I find myself doing it all the time. It's why I get scared so much playing this game, particularly when you're streaming. You're not paying as much attention to what's going on around you. You're interacting with chat, and the next thing you know, there's a player there and your heart is in your throat, or someone's taking a shot at you. You really go check out Vigilante Gamer. He's probably the best tactician on DayZ I've ever seen. I shout him out all the fucking time. The guy has just started making videos again, breaking down firefights and stuff like that. But he has some amazing videos on how to approach dangerous areas and There's DayZ is a game that there's so many elements of it. Like someone said, wow, university level anthropology essay, nice. That this is one of the best breakdowns of what happens to you when you're playing DayZ, because it's a game that takes hours, Blister. It's hard to maintain high vigilance that entire time, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Lost what I was about to say to you.
That's all right.
Something about being on the podcast, man. You just go blank. I know exactly. Right? You start to say your point, and then you're like, people are listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you streamed, man, it would be a whole lot easier. I promise.
Right.
But yeah. That was a really good. He should have published that as a paper.
He does do it. You really need to follow this guy. I'm pretty sure he's on Twitter as well, but he's always on. He's one of the good points of the DayZ Reddit. He's always on there, just talking about. Yep, there we are. ChamberSenator. He's on Twitter as well. He's only got 111 followers. He's when it comes to the history of DayZ, I don't think anyone knows more about DayZ and Armor than this guy. The stuff he's got in his head, I've forgotten. He's forgotten more than I know about DayZ and Armor. Absolute fucking legend. And that response was just amazing. There's his Twitter handle, and you can get his follow him on a lot of things there. But he pops up everywhere. He's God tier. One of the, he's on the same sort of caliber as Wobo and an Asmondian to me. One of the, some time back, I remember I talked about how DayZ needs to have an ambassador program where they have certain people who are of such a caliber that they're official ambassadors for the game. They have that for Armor. ChamberSenator is one of the people I had in mind when I suggested that idea because he's level-headed. He knows his shit, and he's just as you saw with his response there. He's got a fantastic way of being able to communicate. So definitely worth giving that guy a follow, folks.
And he's got amazing hair.
Amazing hair in his Twitter profile pic. We're getting near the end. On Reddit, there was a concept idea. Let me bring it up. Oh, wrong screen. Upgrade revamp to the sickness mechanic, specifically the cold and flu illnesses. I've talked about this as well. The flu is just a mild annoyance in the game.
I like it. I like where you're going with it, and bring it back. Okay, do it. Because it justifies having all the codeine pills for the cough and all the other shit in the game.
Does anyone pick up codeine? I don't.
There's no use for it.
It's not used for anything. Yeah, it's not used for anything.
It was a cough suppressant, and I think allegedly it was going to help you if you had if you were limping when you were wounded, you could pop it and it would let you run for a little bit. But it never went anywhere. So maybe I feel like it used to, because I was going to do a video on influenza, and the reason I didn't do it is because every single update they changed it. They would change something about it, and then your guide is instantly obsolete. So I just left it alone. But
it's a mild painkiller, but I just don't bother, Sarge. I'd rather pick up a EpiPen
or morphine.
Or
the morphine. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I know it was the reason I brought it up is because, like I said, people were using it to make their cough go away. So when you were PvPing and you were, they didn't know.
Yeah, you just use multivits now for that instead.
Yeah.
Or Tetra.
I'd love to see them expand on it. If you leave it untreated, it gives you a fever, and you start getting hot and overheating. Burning through your hydration faster.
They have that.
Then you could use that's the thing, but no one uses the thermometers either. You know, they're just kind of a waste
There's
of
no need
CLD
to.
space. Yeah, it's just a
Yeah,
lot.
I
They need to
mean-
do something with medicinal stuff. And
They added, I don't know if it was not 114, might have been 113 or 112, but they added in that disease. I remember Wobo made a video on it, and went like, you get it. It's to do with the infections from rags.
That was 113, I think.
If you get that and you don't pop the meds in time, you vision starts to blur, your temperature it'll skyrocket up 1 minute and it'll go down the next. And what else does it give? Your hydration, you're constantly like eating yellow thirsty, even how much you drink of it. So it already has that. And if you reach that stage,
that's good.
you're a dead man. There's no cure for it after that stage.
It's contagious. I literally was feeding my buddy water. He had it out of my canteen and then drank it, and we both ended up dying because there was no
F11's the only
no
cure.
vitamins anywhere. We were stuck in the middle of the map. It pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie. We were farming NBC shit and just died because of it.
Yeah. It was quite a nine.
So I might have to do some experimentation with that because I did get the blurry vision, but I was able to cure it just with Tetra. Tetra's OP. But yeah, the codeine needs a purpose, you know, for whether it be for just managing the fever, bringing the fever down so that you're effectively curing the disease until you can find Tetra to cure it properly. But it's kind of a wasted item in the game. Like Zardy's saying he uses it all the time, but I know most people just look at it and go, what's that for?
Well, they also like the codeine. Okay, it has some uses, but not fully as it's intended. Thermometers are fucking useless. I have a thermometer on my HUD, right? And the charcoal tabs are broken right now, as far as I know. I keep trying to figure out what the hell's up. The buff is broken. The buff lasts like 10 seconds and goes away now. Like whether you're sick or not. I don't know what's going on with that. But
also, actually, on the charcoal thing, a lot of people are getting confused because it says on the charcoal tabs that you can use them to refill gas filters, which you can't.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
They got rid of that.
Did they remove it? They removed it. Good, because
I've just been Marks. This is a good idea for you, by the way, because I don't do the short ones. I've been going to Riffy and standing up on the rocks where the zombies can't climb and shooting up in the air. And there's always like 12 or 15 that run over, and you can just smoke them when they get to the rock.
Yep.
And I'm just farming the fuck out of POXs and filters, man.
Yeah.
And gas filters, yeah.
And if you have an NBC suit, you can actually do one better. You can go into the little wooden shed that's right there when you first come down the hill off the road and stand in there and just shoot them through. There's like 4 or 5 windows in that thing. I probably farmed for about 30 minutes because you just got to run 200 meters away and they respawn. I farmed for about 30 minutes last night, and I filled 2 Alice bags with PO. I had like 6 POX antidotes and full to the brim with filters, man. Like,
might try that. Yeah, I didn't know that. I'll give it a go.
Yeah, I shared that in DayZ Tips and Tricks. Someone was saying, where do you find gas filters? And I said the easiest way is just to farm them on the edge of the gas cloud on the static zone.
They come running right out to you like dipshits. It's easier at Pavlovo because you can stand up on the big,
road,
roadblocks. Yeah, but a lot of zombies don't come running up. It's legitimately, I never got less than 12 zombies per wave, and sometimes I would get up to 15. So it was so easy, man.
I've tried that.
Yeah. What else have we got here? Marx's Tripwires video. Oh my fucking god! This triggered me.
Huh?
This the comments on this video triggered the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
So much misinformation on the commenter side.
Marx, I'll let you handle this one, mate.
Yeah, so I made a video giving the basic tips and tricks on tripwires. And I mentioned at the end, because we had covered it on the podcast a while ago, about the grenade exploit, where you could unpin a grenade, drop it on the ground, and then put the pin back in it, and then put it in the trap, and you could walk over and it would instantly explode. And the only kind of reason I meant that was not to say it was a glitch, or to say it was... I kind of, in a way, it's a little bit of an exploit, but it was just to inform mainly the console players that this, like, when you step over it, it's not a landmine or something, you can do this and just beware of it. It was to mainly shine light on it instead of, give out about it because I'm 50-50 on it, if that makes sense. But people took it such a wrong way. It was.
You got accused
insane.
of killing the game.
Yeah, if you go down below, they were like, edit your video. You're killing the game by putting this in there. And I was like, I'm not editing the video. Go away.
Marx is single-handedly responsible for killing an entire
Killing the game because I told them that you can cook a grenade and then repin it.
Okay, I am not trying to steal the show here, but for my first year that I was in the Navy, I was with a Neo-D tech team. Okay, there's another guy named Bomb Doctor who's he's always in the DayZ community. He was an EOD tech as well. That's explosive awareness disposal. You cannot cook a grenade in real life.
No,
you cannot do it. Once the spoon leaves, not the pin. The pin doesn't ignite the fuse. The spoon does. Once the spoon's gone, there's no stopping it. Okay, and it has the RE factor of TNT, which is 1.34. It's gonna fucking blow up everything around. There's no way. There's people that have died fucking around with grenades thinking that they could do that. Like even with the Soviet grenade in the game, it's the same way. Once you pull that pin and let go of that spoon, the spoon sits flush. It doesn't look like a frag grenade spoon. And I'm not trying to sound like a know-it-all here. I'm just saying people keep fucking arguing about this and have no idea what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't cook a grenade. Video games have just like fucked people up, making them think they could, right?
Yeah.
You can cook it as in pull the pin and hold it because it's got like a 7-second, timer. But in the military, they tell you pull it 1, 2, 3, throw it. Right? I don't know how they do it in the Aussie military. You were in the military, if I recall, Boydie. But in the American military, it's pull 1, 2, 3, and it's toss. You don't throw it; you toss it. So. The whole thing is just funny seeing these people who are probably 15 years old and have no fucking idea outside of, Call of Duty, what they're talking about, come on here and say, it's not a glitch. It's a real thing. You know what I mean? It's just dumb. The only issue I have is I really wish you wouldn't have put glitches or exploits in your guide video because you're justifying.
I know. Yeah. I'm a terrible person.
But still, I mean, they're going to do it anyway.
That was my point. I was like, well, I may as well leave people know of it. It wasn't to say do it, which I know people will do either way, but it was like, look, this is a feature. It'll probably happen to you at some stage. It'll probably happen to all of us at some stage. Just be aware of it, And if I called it a glitch, I might have called it a glitch in the video. I can't remember. It was 5 a.m. when I made this video. I couldn't sleep, so I made this video. If I called it a glitch, I didn't mean to call it a glitch. I meant to call it more of an exploit, even though it isn't, but it is at the same time. So, yeah, I do retract that if I did say glitch.
You know what?
It's not even an exploit.
I just want to say I retract what I said earlier. I don't have anything against you posting that on there. I don't want you to take it that way.
No, I know.
If you put that on there, the devs are going to see it and they're going to see that people hate it and they're going to take it out. They're going to make it where you can't cook them.
There's an easy way around it, and it just involves the addition of, I say easy, I temper that again, there'd be a little bit of mechanics needed for it, but I was advised of a Russian grenade, it's an F1 or something like that, which has an adjustable fuse on it, which you can set so that, make that thing rare, make it only in the toxic zones, make it only on heli drops or heli crashes or something like that. And that is one that, if you find it, you can set the timer to, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, 6 seconds, however much you want it to be, instant if you want it. But please, for the love of God, get rid of this unrealistic thing of being able to drop a grenade on the ground, quickly pick it back up and repin it, and suddenly Mr. Grenade is safe again. Like Archie said, the spoon or the handle, if you don't know what he was talking about when he said spoon, once that is off, there's a little, basically on most grenades, there's a little spring-loaded firing pin, for want of a better word, that flips over and strikes the top of the basically the percussion cap, which ignites the fuse. Once that fuse is ignited, there is no fucking stopping it. You can't cut it. It's internal. It is going off, and you want to get it as far away from you as possible. You cannot
and the pin and the spoon are
turn off grenades.
Things. Yeah, just to clarify.
The pin can come out. The pin can come out. And I shared a Twitter the other day, which was Major Payne pulling a grenade pin out with his teeth. You try that, more than likely your teeth are going out before the grenade pin. They're not easy to get out for an obvious reason. You don't want them falling out. I've got a mate, IRL, who died to grenades. He had them in his pouch and they exploded when he was doing a live fire and movement. Somehow, we can only guess, but he had 2 grenades in there, and one of the grenades, the handle must have gotten through the pin and it eventually pulled it out. But you've got to actually tug them. You've got to actually tug fucking hard on a grenade to get the pin out. And putting them back in is quite difficult as well. You know, they've got a little wiggle in them. You've got to pull them through that and make all the metal compress. They're not, yeah.
It's literally just an interlock. The pin is just an interlock to keep the spoon in. Just like a fire extinguisher has the same type of pin on it, or a trailer hitch. It's not, the Hollywood has fucked everybody up with it. You know, there was a guy in America who was fucking around with one in his car. He was a service member and he had taken it home like an idiot. And
Jesus.
I hate to speak ill of the dead, but the dude was an idiot. And he was pulling the pin out and putting it back in and recording videos of it. And he was trying to put the pin back in, thought he had it in all the way and didn't have it lined up right. And he put the grenade down and was about to take a picture and it blew up. You know, and that's a true story. You can look it up, and people are just like, "Wow, what an idiot!" But it's that whole misconception. I know we're talking about a video game here, but like,
I was just thinking that
they want to argue with like the content creator who's just saying what they've already confirmed in a video game, you know. And this guy's arguing like it's an IRL thing, and it's absolutely not.
Yeah, he's prepared to. He calls realism on the fact that you can crouch walk or crawl through a tripwire, and says that's not realistic. It's a game mechanic that you can't actually physically. You can run and jump, but we all know how buggy jumping is in DayZ, particularly when it's like in a building and there might be a doorway that would knock you down into it. So I'm happy with the mechanic of being able to crouch walk through it. It's like, okay, you've seen it. So crouch walk, not crouch shuffle, because that will still set it off like Mark showed in the video. But being able to crouch walk through it is a good mechanic because it allows people who are either cautious or have visually seen the tripwire to not set it off in a way that, and the really cool thing to come out of it was now people also know about, I'd heard it before, but that you can actually use pliers to lock the grenade in place.
Yeah, I found that in the podcast Discord, and I didn't know if it was true, so we've tried and seen it. Yeah, it does work. So
I just found out you can lock car parts in cars with a screwdriver.
Yep, and same with tire iron, with the tires. You can lock them in place as well. So it's good for the radiator because if someone really wants to fuck you over, if you park a car, say, by Tizzy, they can just go up and pull the radiator out and then put the radiator back in, and suddenly you've got no water in your radiator. So it's a way of getting us all to stop and be easy to shoot. But if you lock it, they need to actually it's only the screwdriver. I'd love to see them use the wrench for the battery and the spark plug as well, so you can lock those into place. But for some reason, it's only the screwdriver. But yeah, it's a couple of good changes there, a couple of good realism changes.
Sorry, Marks.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I wanted to add with the grenade, like in my experience, and I got a lot of experience with the tripwires, like, because I love them. You can't get away from the area of effect anyway, because when you hit the tripwire, you stagger for 2 seconds, and then literally every grenade has a 5-second timer. Yeah. So there's no way in 3 seconds, whether you're outside in a field or in a building, you're going to clear, unless you somehow get around a corner and behind a wall. There's almost no way you're going to clear that grenade's area of effect. So the whole thing about cooking them is kind of useless anyway, you know? So, unless they remove that stagger effect, which I doubt they will.
No, I hope they don't.
I like the stagger effect. It's like a warning, so you know what you're actually after hitting. So you can tell if it's a tripwire or a landmine. So I like that. But fuck that video. I don't want to look at it anymore now. I regret even making it.
Man, I liked it. I don't know why.
Good video.
I wouldn't give yourself well, you know, you've been a YouTuber long enough. There's people who come in the comments just to try to get your attention by arguing with you.
Oh, I know. It happens every update video. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I just looked at it. I was like, what's the point of doing this shit anymore? Everyone's just going to argue constantly.
This isn't a plug. I just want you to know where everyone can hear it. Mine was scheduled to go live on Monday, and I pushed it back, and I'm going to do the traps video this Monday. because I shoot my videos and record them and then schedule them a week at a time. So I hit my goal of every 7 days. So I don't want you to think I ganked your idea.
No.
Yeah. Because I saw that and was like, fuck. So I had to go in and reschedule it so that mine wasn't right after yours.
Yeah, I actually thought of you. I was like, oh, I wonder, are you making a video of this at the same time? But I hadn't seen like a proper one out there yet. So
yeah, there's a lot of disinformation on it too out there, which is always a problem.
Yeah, that seems to be a huge problem in DayZ. A lot of misinformation.
That's because everybody wants to be the first one to rush and get the video out about something instead of getting all the info first.
Yeah, like apparently you can attach flares to them as well.
You can, yeah.
Yeah. So.
I didn't try that. I didn't even think of a flare. But
yeah, I tried everything. I had to do it in the server because they're all broken in the editor and offline mode. But I tried glow sticks. Somebody said they work. They don't. Flares work. It's instant too. Like they instantly come on. And also, you can just put the tripwire up with nothing attached, and people are going to hit it, and you're going to know they're there.
Yep.
Yeah. You'll hear them. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. Clips of the week. I actually feature in a clip of the week this week.
You made it.
I don't know. Now be careful. Watch out for bear traps and tripwires. Just never know what someone has put around here.
Got it.
Maybe even a landmine.
A very timely reminder. Thank you. I notice you don't have weapons out, Boydie. It's an interesting...
No, mate, the reason why is there's enough people out there who want to shoot you. If I don't have a weapon out, I'm more likely to get an interaction.
Right.
You can do the top row, I'll do the bottom row.
You got it, man. I think that's a fair approach. I think my default, though, is always have the weapon out. It's probably not the best advertising. Oh, fuck!
Oh!
Man down, man down!
Almost. No, I'm surprised I didn't jump at that one. That got my heart rate up.
That burns.
At least he didn't die, though. So.
Yeah, be careful. Watch out for...
that was you, mine then, huh?
Buddy, you always give me anxiety when you don't walk with a weapon out. It gives me so much anxiety.
I don't do it either, honestly.
You don't walk with a weapon out?
No, but me, when I'm streaming or playing, I'm trying to find people that I control. So if I have a weapon out, just like you said in the clip, if you don't have a weapon, they trust you a little more. It's like a better icebreaker than, hey man, and you're just like, you're playing peekaboo for 10 minutes till you trust them. I hate that.
But that was my mate Click Daddy. He's in chat. That was the first time we've played together. I had an absolute blast playing with him. I call him the Happy Bombs of Australia. The production quality he puts into his stream. He's got a background in film and media as well, so it shows. He does a little bit of role play characters and all the rest of it, but it was great to actually be able to play with someone, because I'm normally a lone wolf, or I play with a couple of mates on stream, but it was nice to actually do a collab. I really enjoyed it, and I definitely want to do it again with Click Daddy. Give him a follow. You won't regret it, folks. He's a funny guy. And yeah, he was trying to tell us earlier on in the stream that he wanted a call sign. He wanted to be known as Hawkeyes. We've now called him Mr. Magoo after that. For those who remember the old Mr. Magoo cartoon, guy who couldn't see nothing even with his glasses on. But yeah,
Lieutenant Dan. Now he ain't got no legs.
But no, that was a great clip. A lot of fun with that one. Now we've got a couple from Melbourne. He's done them just as clips, so you'll have to give me a second. Yeah, Discord. Go live. Here we go.
Daddy, I blew myself up with a mine at my own base.
Oh god, yeah, constant vehicles. It's never going to work well.
Wow, that was great.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
Oh. Run.
Catch it.
Good thing he wasn't in it.
I fucking love DayZ. I don't look at this.
Little things like this, I'm sorry, but I love them. I love it. It's annoying when it happens. It's like, oh, I've got a car. Oh, you're fucking kidding me. But at least it's giving him a good show.
It reminds me of those old PC games like Skate. I don't know if you ever played that old skater game. And if you like got too close to a wall, it would just slingshot you across the world. That's what that reminds me of. But that happens in all AAA games, or that even happens in like GTA 5.
Mm-hmm.
No.
What?
I haven't seen that one before.
Oh, item surfing?
Magic carpet ride in there or something?
A new way of breaking into bases for you, Archie.
Ooh, I would feel like I cheated him if I did that.
Meta.
Certainly be banned on a lot of servers for that.
I can definitely use it to make people jump off roofs, though.
He's gonna go flying like Naruto. Oh god.
The Olga's unstable at the best of times.
Sputnik.
Spin cycle.
Wants it to go out west, he's gone to the moon instead.
They said Charlie didn't have an Air Force.
Yeah.
Geordie Gaming Guy, 1 second. Let me just change the screens again. Someone put a minigun in DayZ.
Oh yeah, I made a video on this miniguns, that was really cool.
Hey, gotta be happy.
Oh my fucking god.
That's it.
That is a minigun,
My
mate.
Terminator roleplay
Are
is
you
complete.
kidding me?
It's such a cool gun.
Like, a legit minigun.
Buddy, he's like you with how many guns he carries.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Hey, Chewie.
Hi. I'm gonna have to go and shoot this fucking car with a minigun to test this out, aren't I?
Yeah, I want to see it.
Oh, how do you aim with that?
You don't aim minigun, you just shoot.
Oh, not the livestock.
Yes, the livestock.
Like we're having burgers for dinner.
Ground beef.
Disgusting.
This cow.
Who doesn't know what's coming?
Hello to my
Yeah.
little friend.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god, I heard that in my earphones.
He heard that?
I'm not watching your stream.
I just found a minigun and I had to try it
I
out.
actually wanted to do an event like this where someone grabs a minigun and sits in the side of a helicopter, you know, the ones that you can open and you can hang out of.
Yep.
And then like do it as an event, so you just go around shooting people, like players, around the place, and if they shoot you out of the helicopter or shoot the helicopter down, they get all the gear out of it. Thought that'd be a
missed an
really cool video
opportunity
idea.
To redo that scene in The Predator where they just fucking light the forest up with the minigun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna make you a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus, just
Oh.
like me.
Oh, this trailer is so cool.
Oh yeah, this was really good.
You have to make sacrifices. What sacrifices? Are you going to sacrifice your family?
That, to me, was one of the greatest tacticals I've seen.
addicting game. I can't count on both hands the amount of times I've been read the Riot Act by. Welcome to 87.8 Survivor FM. Fucking Jesus Christ!
Bundy's paying for viewbots. I called it. You heard it first here. I had
Are
people
you
actually
talking
say,
shit?
We are joined by Scotty, the PR and brand manager for DayZ. How you doing, buddy?
base building in DayZ. It is really, really bad.
we are going to be putting the spotlight on Silo Entertainment, Mr. Moon.
The one, the only, the Dutch man himself. Minder, how you doing, buddy?
This episode, we are shining the spotlight on Toprek. How you doing, mate?
Hello.
And one of my all-time favourite DayZ content creators, the Running Man.
The community that I've built, I've been very blessed with the people that have not just supported me since day one, but I mean even the new people that continue to come back.
Your DayZ dog mod, mate. So many people dream of that in this game, and you made it happen. Well done.
Legends of the DayZ community, designed from the Rearmed community, and Iceblade, the creator of Cannabis Plus and Drugs Plus. How you doing, fellas?
We are joined today by the one, the only, Living Dead, and we also have Zombie Lee. Boys, how are you doing today?
And Scale Speeder Gaming. Finally, we get you on, buddy. How you doing?
The DayZ podcast is your one-stop shop for everything you want to know about the best damn survival game in the genre, DayZ. Everything from the latest mods, content creator news, the latest update, anything at all, we will discuss it each week here on 87.8 Survivor FM, the DayZ podcast. This show is not just mine, but it belongs to everyone in the DayZ community, and we would love to have you come in and watch the show with us live. I was really, really happy with that.
Yeah, it looked really good. Really good.
I loved it. I absolutely fucking loved it. And
OG Levin
What's going on,
did
guys?
such a good job. Such a fucking good job with that video. Worth every cent I paid. You know, if you don't have a channel trailer yourself, maybe look at getting him to do one for you. I'm going to be using that on Twitch as well. Just as my channel trailer for there as well. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Good job, OG.
he actually did. I
Great talent.
It was fucking, and this is going to be like, when I saw my face on there, I was like, what the fuck? It's so cool. I loved it.
I just
did an absolutely fantastic job.
I love the show. You know, like I said in there, it's not just my show; it's the community show. It's a place to get together, talk about the good things, the bad things, everything in between. But mostly, it's a celebration of DayZ. I know there's a lot of people who go watch the big streamers and all the rest of it when they're playing it, and that's great and all because they're all part of the community. But what we're creating here is just our own little unique thing of people who love this fucking game as a whole. We might talk smack about it from time to time. We talk smack about it a bit earlier in this show. But at the end of the day, we do it from love. And the community that's forming, the people who are always in here, the new people who've just found us, who are binge watching their way through all the old episodes. I'm so fucking happy to have you all. All the different hosts we've had over the time, Brim, Val, Wee Devil, I fucking love it. I love doing this show each week. It's one of the highlights of my week for me when I remember to wake up, and I'm just glad there are so many of you who are joining in this journey, following this fucking amazing game as it just goes from strength to strength.
It really does, yeah.
Have you looked at putting it on like Spotify and iTunes and shit?
Yeah, it's on Spotify and iTunes as a podcast. Cool. Yep.
Good, I can listen to it while I'm working.
Yeah. Yep. Link in the description of the video. A lot of people, it's not monetized over there. It can't be, but it's for the show, for the information that we put out. Like I said, I know you can watch other streamers and talk about things, but each week, with this podcast, you're going to get to hear about the latest things that are happening in the DayZ community and some other interesting topics as well. I hope they're interesting, but yeah.
They are.
Scrolling back down, I think we are now at individual spotlights, folks. We will start with you, Blister. What do you want to shout out, mate? What's something that has impressed you last week or just anything at all?
Over the last week?
Or anything at all. What's something that's really impressed you?
I don't know, just a lot of the positive feedback I've been getting, I guess, and me trying to push positivity is returning a little favor to me. I appreciate that, and just keep pushing people forward, pay it forward. Anytime somebody tries to do something for you, man, do something for somebody else. Try to make somebody's day a little bit better than what it could be.
That's a great philosophy to have, mate. It's kind of what the philosophy with what we do here as well. You know, like the Christmas show. I just recently paid Man Over Mars for the first of the gifts. I'll be paying for the other ones as we go along as well. Yeah, I 100% agree with you, mate. Give back. Take. Don't be afraid to take from the community, but make sure you're giving back as well. You know,
absolutely.
Yeah. You know, whether it be just by entertaining them or through actual giveaways and things like that. I'm not going to be doing any more giveaways until the Christmas show because I just want to save up and do as many as possible. So make sure you keep collecting those podcast bucks, watching the show live on YouTube and Twitch. And you'll be able to buy tickets to enter into winning some pretty cool gifts. A couple more to announce. Obviously, Ike D is doing a $100 charity donation. So if you win his prize, you can donate $100 to the charity of your choice. And no, Mark's is not a charity, so you can't tip him.
I can be legally if you want me to be.
And also another one that I'm just waiting for some information from, but Match. Fubar Bundy's missus has donated something as well. So more information to come about that. If you've got any ideas on things as well, hit me up. Obviously, we're going to do some caps and shirts, but giving back is a great thing to do, Blister, and I love that you do that, mate. Keep on doing it, and you'll see growth, mate. People, for the most part, like to be around positivity, not negativity.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot. That's another one. OG11, if you've ever wanted to have a video edited as well. OG11 will do a up to 25-minute video edit for you. So, yeah. And we've got the stickers as well coming from El Trucco. So, yeah, some really cool prizes. Archie, what about you, mate? What would you like to shout out?
Does OG11 edit home movies?
I'm certain he'll do anything if the price is right.
All right. I want to shout out, first of all, Lad has been helping DOJ and I with a super secret project that we're working on. Yeah, and I asked Jesus to bring him over, and I didn't really have to convince him, so he brought him over. And I want to shout out DOJ as well, DanceofJesus, because the dude's super fucking talented, and he's a great asset to the community. I don't know why BI isn't hiring the guy. He's not going to learn Czech. He barely knows English, but he's worth his weight in gold. And he's my best friend, man. So I got to shit on him. Plus, he's French. And I haven't really been. I haven't had a lot of time to check out the new, content creators and stuff because I've been away for almost a year. Mm-hmm. And I came back and I had to get on my grind again so that I could get back in the algorithm. But I'm sure there's some great ones out there. But I definitely just wanted to shout out DOJ for actually starting the project because it's such a large scope and it's so much fucking work. But thankfully we've got he and I and Lad and another fellow working on it. So it's going to be great too, by the way. And he's probably going to be pissed that I teased it, but whatever.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, he will be.
And I forgot my other. Oh, Lad's new fucking stream intro he made. Did you guys show that? You should show that. Honestly, it's fucking.
It's great.
His idea was so like.
Have you got the full video rendered, Lad, that you can show us?
It's on.
Yeah, it's up on YouTube and everything.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's only like 2.5 minutes, but you're gonna recognize right away. He spent so much time working on this, and it looks fucking great. So I wanted to shout that out.
I'll put it in the clips. Actually, I've already put it. I put it in the DayZ chat. In fact, it's literally the first post you see on the DayZ chat.
Just have to give him obscene amounts of money so he'll actually make me one as well.
Which chat?
The DayZ chat.
DayZ.
Yeah.
You guys need to get Boydie one of those, like Jamie from Joe Rogan, like a technical guy who looks.
Yeah,
all
young
stuff
young Jamie, pull that up.
Pull that
All
up
right,
there.
okay, I'll do
Show
it.
us the new intro screen. There you go.
Have you got it, Boydie?
Yep.
All right, cool. Right.
Hang on, this has got copyright music, hasn't it?
No, it's not
video
copyrighted.
game music, so it's not copyrighted.
YouTube said no copyright, so it's fine.
It's fine because it's video game music.
We brought that up last night.
Yeah. Very clever little niece idea.
So for anybody who can't see and is just listening, he literally took the idea of the GTA 4 loading screen when you first start the game, and he made a DayZ version. And then instead of game loading at the end, it says stream loading, and it did the light bar scan effect and everything. It looks fucking great. So
Very well done.
It was a great idea and an even better execution. That shit right there is hard to do. It looks simple, but it's hard to do.
Yeah, I was
DOJ in chat. Glad you made me launch GTA 4 again, you bastard.
Good. But see, I was saying to Archie yesterday about it. I was laying in bed. I got home from work and I was laying in bed. I was fucking tired, and I was watching another YouTuber who does source filmmaker videos based on like Half-Life Alyx, and he made one. He made a GTA 4 loading screen based on that game. So I thought, I wonder how difficult it would actually be to do it. So I took a couple of pictures in game, and then done a couple of like character things. And I was like, okay, this is actually not too. This is pretty easy actually. I can do this. So I spent like 6 or 7 hours on it. I got Archie to help us with like the rendering settings to make it look really nice and crisp. And uploaded it, and I was like, right, that's it. I'm going to bed. See you later. Woke up, and I got quite a lot of positive remarks about it. I was like, fucking hell. And I actually just used it for the stream I'd done earlier on. Nobody saw it because obviously nobody was in it at that time, but I'm the plan I have for the more that I stream, I'm going to have community members. I'm going to ask community members to post like really cool screenshots with like no characters. And like really like landscapes, just like on Shannara, Livonia, any map, and then tell me what kind of character they want in the picture, and I'll add it to the loading screen. So the more time that goes on, the whole segment gets longer, which means that more people there's more time for people to get into the stream, and I'm showing off content that somebody else has like made for me. It's kind of like a little thank you, a little nod. So,
good idea, mate. That's a good idea.
And I was really happy with how it came out. I was over the fucking moon. But yeah, so yeah, that happened. So
good job.
Well, what do you want to shout out, lad, while you're talking?
I want to actually shout out, and I've already shouted them out in the past, but Wellerton, DayZ, he does DayZ artwork, and he's been absolutely killing it lately, and I've seen that he's definitely found his style. He's been posting some really nice screenshots. He's some nice settings. With DayZ Editor, it's become a much more better tool for the photography
that's
side
sick.
of things. Yeah, he's been doing absolutely amazing stuff. So I just want to give him a shout out. I doubt he will ever do commissions. He's, it's pretty much a passion project for him. But I believe he also got a notice or a shout out in the recent community spotlight. So he's fucking going places. I'm really proud of him. So give him a follow. Just tell him he's been doing a great work. And again, I can't wait to see more. And I also want to do a second shout out to DOJ and Archie and their project.
Marks, what about you, buddy?
So since DayZ launched into 1.14, I haven't really played the game much. I grinded it out so much during experimental and made so many videos and streamed so much on that I kind of burnt myself out on it a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't have much to kind of shout out that way, but the news that we got on stream today about the game getting, continued support during 1.15 and next year and stuff like that as well is what I'm going to shout out. So basically the devs is what I'm going to shout out. So yeah, it's good to see that it's going to get supported going ahead and everything as usual.
Was that? Hell yes. Was that the only question they ever answered?
Yeah, they only picked one. So yeah, hopefully we can get another one in future. So I'll probably put up a question submissions channel again for some fresh questions and see what we can get answered for a future episode.
Nice one.
Okay. For me, I'm going to be shouting it out again. The DayZ Down Under Enhanced Vanilla server. I'm having an absolute fucking ball on there. I've got a bunch of people that I'm playing with. Brendan and Moonshine who are in chat. Dan, Dead Beef. Just having so much fun. Just getting back to a more vanilla experience of DayZ with a few slight little additions. Some extra pouches that you can put on a tactical belt. Just really fucking loving it. You'll find me on there quite a lot lately, folks. I'm just, really in love with. So indirectly, shouting out the devs as well. 1.14, fucking so in love with it. Everyone keeps on asking me, but amazing patch. Absolutely fucking amazing patch. And another quick reminder, how can I forget seeing Wellerton's profile pic or banner with the guy wearing my slouch hat that Winstride designed. Can't forget that Christmas show present as well. Having Winstride design with you and add to one of the most, if not the most, popular clothing pack mod in DayZ, Winstride's clothing, your own item to be added to the fucking mod. So that is an amazing prize. Not cheap, but worth every fucking cent. We're supporting an amazing creator and giving someone the chance to have something fucking legendary in the pack as well. I'm so happy that so many people enjoy wearing that slouch hat. Really fucking happy.
It's a cool hat.
And it's got best insulation, which is totally unrealistic for something that's literally like that. But I love that it's got best insulation as well because it makes it great for winter maps and so on. So it's great like that, yeah. Guys, thank you all so much for being here. Once again, an amazing show. Blister, wish you all the best, mate. Continue that positivity, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure to have you on, mate. Pleasure to have you on. Archie, good as always to have you back, mate.
Go buy the DayZ podcast merch, okay? Buy it. It's dope. I wear this hoodie everywhere, and people are like, "You play DayZ?" And I'm like, "No, bitch, I own it." You know what I mean? Buy this. Okay? And you're gonna look like a Uber Chad stud, even if you're a girl. You look like a Uber Charlotte. Get it? They got cups. And Boydie didn't pay me for saying this.
No, I didn't.
But he's going to.
Yeah, we're going
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
Go get it. I'm telling you, these are great. Support the podcast. If all you can do is watch, but it's cheap and you only got to buy it once, unless your wife is like terrible at laundry or your mom.
I love my podcast coffee mug. I love it.
I need to get
mine's good as well.
Yeah. Next week's guest for the October 16th episode is X Level X, who'll be coming on. So tune in and make sure you're watching that one. All the best, everyone. And we will see you all next week. And I'll see you for my couple of streams next week as well. But yeah, very, very happy that DayZ is going to continue getting support through 2022. And excited to see what 1.15 has in store for us later this year. Let us know in the comments what you would like to see, what you think they're going to do. I'm excited to see, how can they top 1.14, guys? That's going to be the question, isn't it?
Bows.
Yeah.
Bows.
AJ.
Yeah.
Helicopter.
Shut up.
Heli's confirmed. All the best, everyone, and I will see you all next week.
See you later.
Take care, everyone.
My heart levitates. Oh, so bright and awake. My heart